to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time to come forward and try to help make a better way of life for our fellow citizens here in Stanford. And we thank you for everything you do in our days and our lives to help guide us on the correct path. We ask that you be with everybody here present and everybody as they leave tonight. And we ask that our decisions be based upon direction by you. In all things we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Commissioner Martin,
Here.
Mayor Jones. Commissioner Coger,
Here.
Commissioner Brown is absent. Commissioner Perry. Thank you all.
Might note that this is here and our terms. Zach.
All right. We have public concern.
Rachel Willoughby? Yes. Okay. First thing is, I don't know, I'm sure everybody is aware that we are, my husband and I have built a building on, of course, I know it's not in the city, but, I know the people that live in the city drive by there and things. So I'm just asking the board or asking anyone here if there's been any concerns with that building being there. Has there been any complaints or any?
I don't know what that.
Yeah, I don't.
About 150 Locust Court. It's the first, it's the property
Steel building on the left.
on the left.
Is that past the First Baptist Church property, the brick
Yes,
house?
they're
Okay.
past the brick house that the church owned.
There was somebody that came in here and we, turned it away because it's a county problem, it's not a city problem. So we advised them to reach out to them. This was probably, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months
Yeah,
ago.
that's been a while. Yeah.
We went in the building at that time.
I would say somebody that lived here 50 years and drove past that 50 years, it looks the best it's looked in 50 years.
Thank you.
That property got so bad there and so dilapidated. Looks great.
Yes, and I appreciate that. But, are you, able to say what the complaint was, even though you turned them away?
We just, Joe's advice, it was a county problem. We just,
I don't even know that we let them get to it.
we tried not to. So it was concerning, they had concerns. I don't even remember exact word, but
So no idea, I mean, say that words, I mean.
I think it was
Something to do with something like maybe chemicals or something.
chemicals or business or something. I can't.
Something we wouldn't have a thing to do with.
Yeah, and I understand that, but I'm just gonna make a statement that, we weren't even in the building, so there wasn't even any chemicals there, so just
And like
everybody's aware of this.
like we said, we just finished it because it's not in the city limits.
And then, the second thing is, we talk about, growing our community, trying to get, more businesses down here and things. And I know we have the new, Mexican restaurant, which is very good. And there's been several times that I have, referred some of my friends down here to come and try, and they did. And both times, their dinner was interrupted because of parking. They needed to move their car because somebody couldn't get past them or so forth and so on. What is the parking? I mean, I don't know. People pull in there diagonally, which is what I think where they were.
So in that drive,
Well, they pulled up next to the, they kind of just pull in like, I'm so sorry, I thought I had to come back.
that drive is actually, two private property owners share that drive. And one of them has come and talked to us about some issues up there, but it's really nothing we can control because that's a shared property lines and property drive.
So there's really no designated parking for that place.
So we are actually in the process of putting 110 parking spots up and down Main Street. Now, this is in the early works. Planning zoning hopefully will participate with us, but we kind of have a layout. Anything that's in either yellow or is it red and blue, we got, other than that, it's not marked for 15-minute parking, it's very.
He's saying anything up and down Main.
All of them.
Main Street.
Yeah.
Anything next to that building is privately owned by someone.
They share that common drive, the Rutan Club and,
The residents.
the residents next door, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, something could be put out there, no parking, if you're for that establishment.
That's up to them, that's not,
Yeah.
Okay, but there would be no problem with them doing that.
it's their private property.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to the people who own the,
And it's probably no problem as long as they park on the portion that belongs to the Rutan Club, but they can't impede the other owner from getting back to his property. What probably happened there, he's been blocked out of his driveway a few times.
Yeah, he's come in here and expressed his concerns, especially when they first opened, they were really parking crazy.
right. And it's not just them, I feel like it's, a lot of the businesses, how can we get more, more businesses and try to grow our community when we don't have any place for them?
And that's what Commissioner Meadows was talking about. We're
Yeah.
gonna put lines out here that'll designate parking spaces and hopefully.
I think
help
one of
that.
one of the biggest problems is you approach a parking spot or
Right, yeah.
not. So it's a process. You would not believe, because not only this goes back to the mailboxes, you keep 15 foot on each side of the mailbox. So if you do that on each side of the mailbox up
That's a
on
lot.
Main Street, you lose a lot of parking.
Yeah,
And a big hurdle is it's a state highway.
It's a
so
state
we-
highway.
We really have to give permission for anything
So then when
that's
we-
down Main Street.
Start looking into that, consolidating and say, what can we do with mailboxes? We either back in the day, from what I understand, everybody had PO boxes.
mhm,
I don't want to do that.
right,
Clusters, these new neighborhoods are putting in clusters. And for us to do clusters on every neighborhood, okay. That's gonna have to go somewhere in somebody's property, somebody's gonna be upset.
right,
So then we look at consolidating mailboxes to property lines. So if you're a neighbor, you two neighbors on property line have a mailbox and that's where it sits. Trying to consolidate, it's an ongoing process that, doesn't look like we are trying.
okay,
It is not easy to
Yeah.
talk to the state when they basically don't even give you guidelines. You're like, you do what you want. And we're like, well, it isn't. Because you also have to take consideration, you can't be 15 foot off of a main
Radius turn.
radius turn, and then you have driveways that require 4 foot, and then
Right.
you have fire hydrants that require even more. So to get all that dialed in it's Megan, which is not here tonight, she's got a big undertaking also, so I've been trying to help with her on that. And Zach has been too, and John has actually went out and measured and trying to figure this out.
okay,
Because we want to grow St. Crown, and then
Right.
parking, we hear you
Right.
parking's a problem. We try to mitigate it with parking spot. It does help some relief down here. It's not a fix all.
yeah,
Once the weather gets up, Commissioner already put this parking lot over here and that'll be lined out and it's 12 or, how many spots?
10.
10 spots, so that'll help some.
yeah, anything, well,
We hear, I'm over economic development, and that's
Yeah.
one of the biggest problems, one of the biggest hurdles. We got a property for sale, and I don't know where to park it.
So your building, is that a business or just your personal, like, running?
both.
Um,
And that is a house that's going next to it. It's just the basement's poured and we would probably next week will, start framing on that.
Reason I ask that is, when we do our 5-year plans, we always project, we want to grow, like you said, grow a second ago. Something may put in your mind to think about, because there are some advantages of it. We could annex out your property and bring it into the city. We could look into doing that out through there, and because it's contiguous, it touches the property lines of the city, so we could put that
Right.
in and
Right.
might give some benefits with insurance
Yeah.
and taxes.
And we're actually looking into purchasing the property next to us. We, want to do, like you said, it was a terrible sight. It was, and just not even to mention just an eyesore, driving down the road and having to look at that. And, so we just, we want to try to, clean it up and make it look good and,
That's great.
and with us being there, we, are bringing in, of course, we have workers, I feel like that we are contributing, even though we're not in the city limits, that we are contributing to the community. And, once we get everything established and authority, so, there's gonna be a lot of benefits for us being here, so.
And if you do consider the annexation, one benefit of stamp grant is we don't have payroll tax. So if you do build employees over there, we're not gonna go after you for money from those employees, so.
Well, we do already pay payroll tax.
Well, you wouldn't to us, I'm saying.
Oh, oh.
You wouldn't.
To Scott County.
Got, we take now, yes, okay,
Yeah.
They collect all of it.
yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you.
That's it.
Katie Preach.
Hello, I live on Main Street and I was actually looking to having my driveway redone and it intersects with the sidewalk, so I was wondering like what I needed to do, if there were any permits or anything like that, cause we were thinking of fixing the slope so that cars could go down it. And we just didn't know like where it touches the sidewalk, if we needed like a permit, so.
I would definitely probably reach out to planning and zoning.
Yeah.
You have to, and I've talked to Jeremy about it.
Yeah, he said he's talked to pretty much.
Yeah, and what scares me is you start getting in the sidewalk, ADA compliance and everything else. I don't know how to approach that. I know from what, and I may be misspoken, but it sounds like you want to raise the sidewalk.
Yes, make the driveway like a level slope, because right now it's like a bump, flat, and then a bump. And so you can't really go down it unless you have a truck or SUV.
I tell you what we'll do. We have an attorney. We'll see what he says.
Well, first of all, what you said is talk to planning and zoning. I think we need to get a permit.
Mhm.
And I think the sidewalk, to the extent we're gonna change it, it still has to remain in compliance with, the EA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, that's a big thing, sidewalks. So do you already have a driveway there and you're just gonna?
Yes, it's just, it was
I will tell you, it's very steep. Very steep.
pretty bad.
So it's not, I mean, since you've already got an entrance onto the state highway, you shouldn't need an entrance on the state.
Should have to have an encroachment because you already have one.
And, I think it's permanent. But I think you are gonna need essentially a building permit, which is done through the planning and zoning office.
Okay,
And they, guide you through whatever the specific requirements are. Design of what you're doing, that's the sidewalk.
Right.
okay,
So I don't think there's anything specific you need from the city. It's just through the planning, so building inspection office.
okay. Yeah, Jeremy did
Yeah.
call them and he said engineers would just have to
I
go
think,
out and work with, but he wanted me to check with.
yeah, I don't know if. Here's the thing, if you did something and we didn't like it, you would be at a cost to fix it. So that's kind of like. Back there on your left behind you is who you need to go see.
Hiding in the corner.
And you can have, maybe even get a reference or a point of contact with somebody, they should be able to get you started at least. You're gonna have to have a plan of what you're drawing out, what you wanna have done. And present it to them and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
One thing I will point out, on your side of the road, the water main goes down through there, and there's a sanitary sewer that comes across the street from the other property across the street from you. I don't think it ties in your drive, but depending on how wide your builder's gonna cut to make that slope, just make sure it doesn't get into that, because you probably see where the water runs when it comes out down there on the hill.
It's on the opposite side of the river.
Yeah.
It's right beside the telephone pole.
Yeah, yeah. He was talking about making the driveway wider where it meets the sidewalk and not the road part.
Yeah.
So I don't think it.
Cool.
I'm all for making it easier for you, cause I've seen it's pretty steep.
Yeah.
So whatever we can do, if you need anything from us, let us know, but definitely reach out.
Are you asking specifically if you need a permit from us?
Yeah, I was just, Jeremy wanted me to double check to make sure the city didn't have.
Make sure that she doesn't need one.
It's
Yeah,
fall or anything.
yeah, so answer that.
And Jeremy's got a business license.
Thank you.
Do we have anybody else?
Mr. Christie got in late before, after I took you. Do you want to bring up your thing now to talk about that?
That's fine.
Okay. You want to come here and talk to him or stand there and talk to him?
Sit here.
Yeah.
What's your name? What's your name and I'll put it down here.
Christie Parrish.
Okay, Ms. Parrish.
The city storm drains over here that run,
At 1028 Woodlake, they run underneath
it,
railroad, but they were put in by the city. They were put to divert water into our storm system over there.
so the drain itself, where it's been drove over, is completely mashed down, almost like it's completely flat, closed. Where the wall is, all that's grown up. There's grass piled up over there, so none of that water's running out, it just backs up.
Side across from our property.
And is that person doing grass again? That you know of?
Oh, now that, we're not talking about
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You got the
the
gravel
outlet
grass.
side for the drain. There's nowhere for the water to go, cause it's built up over the years, and like I say, where they, and I get it, they got off the road, run over it, that mashed it down, but that's what's really, and what it does, it backs up all the way into our side. And then
so everything that runs down the
Yeah.
hill lays backs up and piles up, the water stands.
A lot of the issue is heavy trucks that are using that private property to access the business down on Calvert.
But the storm drain itself, is it on railroad or?
It's, so if you look at the like, if you come out the drive of the park back here, come out that drive and see a crossroad, the storm drain's right here in the corner of Woodlake in that road, and then it goes underneath the road and it diverts the water down into the drain line down here into the basin.
The clock drain is on private property.
That's
Well,
the
oh,
drain,
there you go.
but then this is standing down.
Yeah, the opposite side where it's just hadn't been cleaned out or dug out forever.
And these,
That was not allowing anything to go through it. If it had a way to go, it'd take care of itself.
these were put in by the city for part of our stormwater mitigation.
So that one's okay though, right? He's just talking about this one.
That one.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, this one probably needs, once they repair that, they'll probably take the whole line out now, it's crushed like that, but yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm asking because I know that there had been, you've been here longer than me. I know that there had been a lot of talk about, in the past, about,
There was, and I don't remember how many years ago, but my recollection is there was a stormwater drainage project. And the city did obtain a couple of easements to the extent the drains were on private property for the purpose of storm drainage system. Now, I don't remember this.
You know, me and Paul signed for the city to have permission to put them in. We did not sign for responsibility to upkeep.
Well, no, and I'm not saying that we did, but I just don't remember. I think that's what you're.
Paul was usually the one that addressed all of it. Thompson,
That was late.
that was my late husband.
And that, yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, he passed away 4 years ago.
So, one, I would want to identify that we do have an easement on that. So the specific collapse drain, now is that on your property?
No, it'd be across the street. It'd be across.
It runs under the
I
railroad
say
street.
across the street, across railroad.
Across railroad, yes, on their side. Where the concrete part with the grate that's on our side, it's good. It's
who owns the property on the other side?
Now that,
You know,
It's been sold 2 or 3 times.
do you remember who owned it 20 years ago over
Artie and Brad Michael,
It's
and both of them were passed,
there?
and
But I mean, when I'm talking about an easement,
Terrace.
someone may have signed 20 years.
Oh, 20 years ago.
That would be
Murphy's
Brad.
probably. Yeah, Brad or Murphy's, yeah.
Brad
Michael.
Michael, yeah. He's
Michael,
passed, so yeah.
I understand, but
Yeah. And it could have been Murphy's too, because they owned that property up until they sold it.
Well, Patrick Thompson owned it after Brad.
And, Graves, remember, was over there.
Sounds like this is gonna be easy.
well,
Yeah.
you know, what I can do is look for the easement. And, so. Yeah, and the question is it the city's responsibility?
The easements were signed when Shirley Kettering was mayor.
Well, there you go. That's 30 years,
40 years, yeah.
So. Where we've got his drainage is nice. And I can report back.
34 years ago, you just started out, you was young folks.
I was in kindergarten, but I'm early getting, going to law school. That's right. But what I can do is look into to see where, on what properties the city has its drainage systems.
So you're just wanting a resolution of fixed or something?
Yeah.
To make.
Cleaned
that-
out, fixed where the
Yeah.
water will run through.
Yeah.
And I know you all have been talking to Megan, because Megan had mentioned this. didn't
Yes,
you?
Megan's the one that called me. She called me last Tuesday, asked me to be here tonight.
And Megan called me about that, but I can't get that chance.
She's trying.
Yeah.
I think somebody called me. Did you talk to me? No. Okay. Somebody
Yeah,
called me
but-
about it.
that once that was cleaned out where the water had somewhere to go. Besides the fact that, and obviously I work Georgetown, them pipes, they get run over there, unless you put a concrete wall or header on that,
Keep
that's
that.
always gonna be, but then that's no big deal, but if the water had somewhere to go, it'd keep that whole thing cleared out.
And right now with that backing up, it's actually in the right of way, it's that close to the road that it pushes it back onto the road. If it gets a heavy footprint,
Mhm.
then you got that issue right there coming down the hill, hydroplaning water on the road.
We'll definitely, I guess, check easements and
Yeah.
I'm sure Megan will be in contact with you. We'll try our best to mitigate this to the best of our ability.
So Megan's got your contact info then.
I'm assuming,
Okay.
I talked to the receptionist here,
She does.
And then-
Okay,
then Megan called me,
okay. I just wanna make sure somebody can get on
and then I texted Dale and was like, what do I do?
it.
Don't
Okay.
talk to everybody, that's the best way, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we all know.
There you go.
Thank you.
Hopefully. Well, we'll do our best. So, don't know how quick.
Oh, I know how that works.
I think we all.
We all do.
No, not that, no, I have hands-on experience, not you all, but.
All right, well, thank you. Let's see.
Thank you.
Do you want to move this one? So that they can go?
Do you have anybody else?
Any more concerns?
Any more?
Did you have one?
Susan?
I'm supposed to talking to him.
We're gonna go ahead and move planning and zoning up. You guys, so you don't.
Just so that you don't have to stay.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hey, everybody. The last time I was here, we discussed the potential for rezoning within the city of Stamping Ground. I was excited to hear, continues to be a priority for the city to want to grow and expand their businesses. Where we left last time was the need to set up some sort of date with the school system. And really, my schedule's open.
Yes.
All you guys gotta do is tell me when to be there.
So we had a date set up for,
This week, wasn't it?
yeah, the 21st. And we ended up having to cancel that because we ended up having to cancel one of our meetings and we couldn't get the communication out in time, so on and so forth. I'm shooting for May 28th currently. but the school system has not got back to me yet.
Okay.
So if that's the day, that gives you kind of a little bit of notice. And then they said they will not let us into school over the summer,
Okay,
so we would have to do a different location. So that has to be something that we have to think about too, but right now I'm shooting for the 28th.
We're hoping the 28th works.
Okay. and I post my calendar.
It'll be after 6 too,
I think
like
that's-
6:30, wouldn't it? Something weird like that.
Yeah, it has to be, because they have after school program until 6:15, so they don't want us to start the meeting until 6:30.
You ever had an outdoor meeting?
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
That's my next thing is we could always do the pavilion back
Yeah.
there.
yeah. And you said,
churches.
you said May 28th.
Churches, yes. That's my goal right now. If that doesn't work out for some reason, because once I ask them, then they have to get it approved through the school board and then it has to come back and it takes a little bit of time.
Okay,
So, and I'm hoping we get that at least 3 weeks ahead of time
Yeah.
so that we can properly notify people.
Mr. Koger, as soon as you get that flyer, or get that date confirmed, we'll put it out on our social media and we'll start prepping materials for it.
Awesome.
Anything else?
I will say, as it trickles out in the community, people that talk to me, a lot of them like the mixed use thing that, is it mixed, I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Mixed use, a lot of them liking that, and actually some property owners that I wouldn't even thought wanted to consider that for their property have asked if they can join in too. So,
Okay.
Is it okay if I ask what you're talking about?
So we're in the process of kind of what you were saying earlier. How do we get Stamping Ground to grow? So we're in the process of possibly rezoning everything, especially around Main Street, for future growth opportunity. It doesn't really affect how the property sits today. But if it ever gets sold down the road, it could possibly be turned into business or a mixed use or something like that. So it's just, we're kind of looking out to the future.
Oh.
How do we grow? How do we get things right-sided that have been wrong-sided?
You're right,
that kind of
right.
stuff.
I think we had identified, what was it, 174 properties that were missed out just in the city limits.
Miszoned or split zone.
Yeah.
Um,
So everybody that's been identified, they'll get a notice and, they'll be invited to the meetings. There'll be a couple meetings that are set up for this. And then, eventually we'll say yay or nay to the rezoning. If we say yay, then it happens.
And you can do individual properties too.
Yes.
We can individually talk about it. If somebody doesn't want it. It's not annexing in any shape, way, or form. This is just pretty much fixing what we have going forward. There's potential for a lot of growth that's potentially coming to Stamping Ground, so we've got to get in front of it.
Right, right.
Especially with all the stuff happening at the end of the road. That's only gonna make us grow.
Right, right. Thank you, thank you.
So I'll just add for the record, I was at the Dollar General over the weekend. I was happy to see Commissioner Meadows out and about with his son. I saw him, he did not see me.
I did not.
He was high, I was just waving. Thought maybe he's ducking me and didn't want it. If I can answer anything else for you guys, please let me know.
All right.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
That's what you want.
Hey, right here.
Thank you. Okay. Everybody had a chance to look at April 16th minutes? Should have received them in your emails.
Yes.
I did.
I'll make a motion to accept April 16th, 2026 minutes.
There was one typo, John. Under, 6, approval of minutes. Just change that word to abstain with an S, not abstain.
All right. So you wanna,
Yeah, I still motion it
okay,
to accept the minutes.
I will second. All those in favor? All right, department reports, police.
Calls for service, we had 28 calls for service since the last meeting. Pretty much everything's been within the limits of Stamping Ground, except for one funeral escort. A couple of things I want to bring up about bills that are paid out of the police fund. We've got two.
KU bills that are still being paid out of the police fund. One for the speed sign on Seabury, which is not in any way, shape or form law enforcement related. It's more of a public service. Let people know how fast you're going because I can't enforce anything off of that sign. And the repeater on the water tower is still coming out. So I don't know.
In regards to the repeater, I do have it on my to-do list to give them a call to see what I can do about that.
Well, actually, we got something on that. I need to talk to attorneys about that. Me and Ken found out about it. But yeah, we can try to get that an answer to you by next meeting for sure, if that's
What
okay.
did we find out about it?
We found out one, that company, that, is using the repeater under contract had, in their contract, when they started putting their stuff on the tower, they were supposed to immediately get serviced. They haven't for all these years. And so I think we're gonna need some money back from them.
Or immediately.
They were required under the contract to, put that meter in their name and be paying the bill.
Provide their own utility
Yeah,
service.
provide their own utility
The
service.
city's been paying for
We
it.
just, for some reason.
So there's no reason then that we can't go ahead and tell them to shut this off.
If we do, we shut off their communications and their service to their customers.
Letter, I mean.
Yeah, send them a letter, you know, they need to transfer.
Well, this is, it's the same thing we brought up over a year ago.
Yeah,
At least we found it over a year ago, yeah.
It's been a while.
but that's what okay,
And this still comes out of police department.
over a year now.
Both of those
Um,
are, you know, it's right around $1,100 or $1,200.
Yeah.
But which is like 2 months worth of fuel for the, better.
A year.
Yeah, more than enough.
But we've known about this for how long?
Over, you know, like, this speed time's been coming out of our budget since I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is something that we keep saying,
Well, we didn't move on it because.
we're just gonna keep talking about, we're just gonna keep talking about, we're just gonna keep talking.
We didn't move on it because we were waiting for the thing that was under action and she paid us back a month ago. Because that's tied into also, that company's been sending Ocean Water our money for the rental. And so that's an attorney thing they need to get
so not only do we need a meter, we also have money coming,
back.
we need to get,
You, or either one of you follow up with me and
Yeah.
Jack on both of these.
Yeah, I can tell you which one of the documents it is in that big dump that we sent from Georgetown Water, and I can tell you which one is that company. It's all them. It's all
So there are two things. One is the meters and then the repeater meter,
Yeah,
and then fees that have been going to GMWSS should be coming
to us.
to us. GMWSS should
And they said,
They're in the caveat with that one
Yeah.
because they do maintain the water tower. So they may.
they own,
yeah,
they own.
it'd be something for you to look into. I mean, thing is, they skirted past us and entered an agreement with Georgetown Water, but we've got the rights for 50 years and they shouldn't have done it.
So we need to sort that out.
Yeah.
And they will accommodate. They said they
Oh,
will.
yeah, yeah. They've already talked to the board about it. They know us.
GMWSS.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Dale, you want
Probably
to follow up?
Yeah.
So we'll get that hopefully ball rolling. Do we want to talk as a commission to pay for the electric out of general fund instead of the police department for our Seabury?
Well. So why is it not, I don't mean offensive or anything, why is it not a police expense if it's for not traffic control per se, but for,
It's not law enforcement. Cool. There's nothing I can do.
I thought we were told to take them down.
the one on Main Street,
Which one's better?
not the Sebring. Sebring one's fine, it's on the property of the person, now the right way, yeah.
But there's nothing I can do. Well, as far as law enforcement
Yeah.
is concerned, I can't use it for enforcement purposes or anything like that. And it's more like a public service for people driving across there saying, how fast you're going.
And I'll be honest, it doesn't slow them down. I can sit there and watch them go past and the light go red because they're doing 60 up the hill. I mean,
I sit out there on Seabury out there where that clock camera is quite often, and I rarely do I get anybody going over 40.
it's not rare that I see it go red. I don't know what it said. It said 35, 40.
35.
Yeah, it goes red a lot.
Is there a need for it or can we just get rid of it?
far as I'm concerned, you can get rid of it. I mean, it's been here since before I came.
I don't know if we can get rid of it.
No, it has to be put in there.
We'd have to store it and sell it.
Yeah, I'm
Surplus, that's what I was.
I mean, get rid of the electric bill.
You know, and this is not to knock Dale or anything, but we do have, Dale is investigating the KU, all these accounts that we have. And if we decide to, it'd be a good time to cancel that one.
It would be a great time.
If that's what we decide. I will say, I think it does make people slow down to some extent. Now, is it, like you said, it's not enforceable.
Didn't record, I mean.
Doesn't record, doesn't do nothing like that.
Just shows your speed.
And it's, I'm, I'm up in the air about it. But the thing is, the city's already put money in it.
What's the fee on that particular one?
$40 a month.
I think it's the bill, the last one I saw was like $59.
Well, and as far as the
Minimum charge.
other than the monthly, electric, I mean, it's definitely, if you break down over the years we've had it, the cost of it initially, I mean,
Paid for it.
it's paid for itself already. I mean, we, $2,000 or $3,000, and it's been about 15 years. I mean,
It's either we get rid of it or we pay for it out of a different account.
yeah.
That's our decision.
Well, now it's time to do it, put it in the budget for next year.
I think we should, either make a motion to either get rid of it or change the funding of it. Not sit around and talk about it for budget and reasons.
I say you can't have too many, deterrents for speed. I say change it, put it out in general fund.
You wanna make the motion?
I'll make a motion that we pay the speed sign light out of general fund. Account, sorry.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
And that will definitely be something we need to budget for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now with that, so we'll start paying, we'll take that money out of the police fund, it's budgeted, right, for that?
It's budgeted.
Yeah,
For that?
we put signs in, yeah.
Hmm.
The electric for the signs put in the budget for the police. As part of their electric.
Yeah, well, when we rebudget, and
We'll just allocate it to
we changed it over. It's only 2 months left, so it's not really hard.
No.
Okay. Is that all you had? Go ahead.
I need to get certified as a vehicle inspector, so.
No, no.
Golf carts, anything like that, we're ready to go.
Now, does that work just for our? Or not, we
No, I
have,
got designated by the sheriff as a state vehicle.
so if we buy an out-of-state vehicle, can you inspect it?
I can't,
Nice.
but the fees all go to him for that. The only thing that we're gonna collect is probably just off the golf carts, off the city ordinance.
Yeah,
And that was pretty much just,
But I've got to set up a meeting with Jerry.
and that was
Got certified.
pretty much for us to make,
Maybe
awesome.
or put them with us or whatever, I can.
that was make us legal on our ordinances the way that we had it written,
Mhm.
because they changed their policy in Georgetown. That's the only reason that he had to sit through that 8-hour class painfully.
Thank you for doing that.
Mhm.
So we're good to go.
You got anything else?
No,
I do have one more thing that is somewhat associated with PD. I've talked with the clerks, and I've also talked with Chip about some IT stuff. We have,
Nice.
yeah, but we have also, in doing that, we have been talking about different ways to, try to mitigate having so many different passwords and other people having passwords and, we are thinking that John has the extra cell phone downstairs, or the old cell phone downstairs. He can do a free upgrade with it and do kind of like a sub account for $36.99. That would be separate from the PD, and it would stay up here in the clerk's office. With that, they could use it in case the phones went out as a backup. They could use it for multi-factor authentication. They could use it for several different things.
that might be really handy for them. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that before we did that.
I'm not opposed to it, but I also don't know why we have 4 lines or whatever it is up here.
I think in there in agreements that we probably need to decrease the amount of phone lines.
The third phone definitely needs to go.
Yeah,
100%.
they have 3 up here total. And I think they agree that we have a lot of bells and whistles up here that they don't use and don't need.
Well,
I don't know if we can get rid of that stuff because we do utilize that stuff at the police department. It's all.
Right. And I don't know if and they were asked, I think you guys were asking the other day, if they would separate it. They would separate it.
I would like to see it on a different bill, but at the same time, I don't want to go messing things up. And he and I discussed that if he and I can put it together and break it down and say, okay, this is yours, this is mine, then we know that we're at least paying the right amount, not the right amount.
I think it'd be a no-brainer if we could get rid of 1 line.
Okay.
Cause I think it's $50 per line.
Yeah.
And so that's cheaper.
So just something to look at.
And the phones. We're under contract to pay for those phones because they had to have that extra line back here.
Yeah.
And, it's, I think in 2 months, that phone will be paid off, so that'll come off to be just $25.
Okay.
So, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have an extra phone in case one of them doesn't go out. It's not-
Yeah.
We're taking it around, we need to be finished paying for it in 2 months, I think.
Okay. So it'll go down after that anyway. Okay,
So if you turn that 1 line off, it should go down a little bit.
okay.
Would be $75 savings.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. Okay. So I just.
So are you requesting to move forward with that or?
Mhm.
Um,
Or at least get your thoughts on it. I mean, if nobody thinks it's worth it, then we can go a different route. I just, you know, in the event that they do lose phones or, you know, it may be a good backup to have for them.
Well, there are certain things that, require 2-step authentication and it has to be a text, it can't be phone.
And I would rather, if it has to be something like that, and a lot of things are going to a 2-step MFA, I would rather it not be on one of their personal phones or anybody's personal phone. So if we could have it to where it was on something that was just here, I think that would be probably a lot better.
And that-
Even the banking as
That's
log into the banking. goes
Yeah,
on the
that's-
personal.
That'd be more
Exactly.
important reason right there.
Yeah, so I would rather us do it, if it was gonna have to do that, I would rather it be to a device that was actually behind here, City Hall.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not opposed to it. I don't know if we really need to make a motion on that, but my vote is to move forward. I mean, everybody else is really, as long as we can do some canceling and.
Yeah. I'm good with that. I mean, it's $36.99 versus $75. We're still net positive, so.
Well, we get the hard numbers. And that'll just give them permission to actually dip in and figure out what the hard numbers should actually be. I say move forward. That's my
And
opinion.
then sit with you on.
At the next, yeah, I'd say at the next meeting, we have the hard numbers and then we can say, yeah, go get the phone.
You just have to remember to set that up for you.
And then we'll have to make sure we get that number out also so people can contact that at City Hall.
Yeah, it may have to be published even.
I
I personally would not publish it unless it was an emergency.
Yeah.
I would not publish it unless it was,
There's a reason for authentication.
yeah.
The thing it is, it's taxpayers' money.
Right.
Cool.
It's the use of it, it's a control,
Yeah,
if you think of it that way.
and you still have a means of communication.
Thank you.
Okay, fire?
Good evening. The fire department is still, moving forward with a number of initiatives, including our 2 outstanding grants. Outstanding for a couple of reasons. One, that we acquired them, and 2, that we don't have the money yet. No pun intended. As far as we haven't heard anything about the apparatus. We've done our portion of the work that we can at this point. We've interviewed and narrowed down to 4 different bidders. I think I told you all about that. And we've got 2 that would work, and we believe will be in the means. And we'll be ready with that when these other things come to pass. I'm not sure the exact step, but I might refer to Commissioner Perry, because he was around at that time. I believe we have to have how this happened in 2009. This was the purchase of the current apparatus that we have and the payment schedule and so, but I think that the next process that we will go is to apply for
At the
the
commission.
grant as commission. So we need to move forward with that, but again, it's a cart horse kinds of issues. Yes, we have part of the money, but so we are working on that and we'll work. In reference to in the last meeting I was here for, in terms of using the grant money that we again do not have, but from our budget, we were able to issue 4 of the 6 sets of turnout gear last night. And, the more I thought about that, the more I thought of the importance that you all understand. We ask people to go into untenable atmospheres, into dangerous situations, and so on. And we're not different than probably 90% of the volunteer fire departments in the country. First off, it usually takes several months to get turnout gear. And you take what you have that's old, probably doesn't fit. You think of the places that you go, the things that you do, and how important it is that your shoes fit, that your coat isn't too bulky, that pants aren't too tight, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we know that that's just part of the business and the way that it works. It would be nice if we could have an abundance in a variety of sizes. Obviously, that'd be terribly cost prohibitive. But when you get in the thing, you're asked to make a run, you're asked to go into a dangerous situation, you want gear that fits in this size to you. To that end, we were staging last night in anticipation of the storms, and I'm glad that we did. We were able to respond in a couple of minutes to the power stations, line stamping ground, just a few blocks down the road. Fortunately, KU had driven past almost simultaneously, so they were on the scene. We didn't really have to do anything, but we were there for it and able to respond with 2 apparatus. So that too is another thing that's hard to understand when we do set out to declare a staging event. Yes, does it cost money? Well, yeah, it costs the city $10 per person. Okay. While people spend generally the whole night of their lives being waiting there for a run. So it is money that, let's say, $40. We had 4 people stay there through the night last night. It's a money
insurance.
Yes.
Extension.
And when you can respond within 3 to 5 minutes instead of 15 to 20, it makes a huge difference.
Really good response time.
Yes, ma'am. Also wanted to let you know, I was not here last week, and as were 2 other of our members, because we were at the Fire Department Instructors Conference in Indianapolis. This is the largest fire event in the United States. There's a bigger one called Intershoots in Europe generally, not in the United States. But FDIC is kind of like 40,000 of your closest firefighter friends and vendors and so on, all in one place. It's an event I've probably been to 25 times in my life through various careers, but most recently, I've gone with Eastern Kentucky University as a former employer of mine to supervise volunteers. And we're allowed sometimes because of that association to take other people. So we had 2 more of our people were able to go. We've done that the last 3 years, I believe. So it's an exposure like none other available. And they get to spend a week. They're provided 2 meals a day. They get lodging for the week, transportation, all their needs are met except for an evening meal. And for that, they work the conference. They do the various things that come up during the weeks that are required. So anyway, it's great exposure. We've been able to get a total of probably 6 or 7 of other people up there over the year. I just want to let you know that that's, even though they're not here ready to serve, they are learning much better how to serve. Any questions from you?
I'd like to bring up something. I stopped and talked to Chief and Andrew. I don't know, it was the day y'all were meeting and I stopped in and talked to them. And I don't know if y'all remember when we first come on commission, we had rejected the personal policy handbook that they had set forth by prior commission.
Mhm.
I think it's time that we revisit that. We didn't do our due diligence, in my personal opinion, by rejecting that and not implementing it. So what I would like for us as a commission is to revisit that.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You all agree?
Except the thing is, when you say that about revamping new one, remember, we were told there wasn't one in existence, and there was one in existence.
That's why I'm referring that to, because that's what you had stated.
Yeah,
They had stated otherwise, but I know that you had, I haven't.
yeah, because I emailed you all.
Well, I don't know if I've seen it, misplaced it, whatever, but what I'm asking is, I think as a commission that we need to do our due diligence in moving forward with that process. We should have done it then, but we were all new. Most of us were. But I think it's time. I think if we, even by ordinance, by 5 years, you should, not even 5 years, it might be 5 years, but you're supposed to revisit those. And
That's a personnel policy, it's not that, so,
so
I like the idea.
I think,
yeah. And I'll send you more dates to hopefully meet, maybe we meet this month.
and that wasn't a request by them, either one of them. That was me going, we probably didn't do the proper thing, right? And whether or not we don't just put a new date on there and keep what we got, okay. Let's get it to 2026, basically what I'm saying.
And I know that we have asked you all to do a whole lot with very little last year, but you guys have done exceptionally well, exceptionally remarkably well.
We've got some really great kids.
And
You guys have got, well, they've got some good leadership too, though, and you guys have you've done a really good job with what you've been given.
Thank you.
so last thing I want to comment is that I don't know if anybody watched this court. And unfortunately, I'm sure Chief and Andrew probably don't want to hear this, but there's talks of building the county fire department down here. They're physically talking about it now. And we're next on the list, so. Where that's going, where that looks like, what that does to us, I have no clue, but it was brought up in the meeting.
I don't think it has to change anything.
Yeah,
It doesn't, I'm not saying it doesn't, but what I'm saying is,
Change anything at all.
yeah, we're recognized fire department, but
It's
fire
coming.
commission, I mean, we'll still be here, I mean.
Yeah,
but I think,
I think if anything, that means that maybe they'll get some very well-trained firemen.
that's, yeah. But I just want to bring everybody's attention if that was even talked about.
If I might respond to that, I am all in favor of having full-time professional firefighters living, working right here in Stanton Ground.
I would.
Whether
Yeah.
and I think that's what the citizens deserve. I think it's what they need. And if we are able to do that through our department, you all be the hiring resource and so on. That's something you have to decide. If it is through another entity, but that is what I truly believe. We need to have our people, all of our people that live here and within our service area need to have full-time fire protection. We're happy to do what we can, but there are many times when we can't even make a run due to our numbers and availability. I copied it, I didn't bring it tonight. But there's a really good article I'll bring in for you guys. And it's about, it's written by Chief Loveland Sims. Anyway, a very well noted author on the subject, and they've had volunteers, and it's essentially saying the banker, the baker, and the candlestick maker are not going to be there to make the runs for you. And when volunteer fire departments developed, they were from people that were like the community. They were people that were given time off or the business stopped.
Or the barber could lock the door and go get the fire truck.
Yeah, I mean, you did whatever it took to address the emergency in the community. And, you know, we're kind of like that somewhat, but not really. I've also made the statement that we don't have anybody that's a current resident of Stamping Ground on our department. We'd love to have. But despite recruiting efforts within and without, most of the people that come to us are people that want to get in the business for a career. And they know that we're the only volunteer group in this county, or in fact, for a couple of counties in different directions. But truthfully, we do need to have full-time fire and then my police protection as well, around the clock. So that's.
Sound like we can talk to you about
But I'm happy to participate.
Let's try to revisit that personal policy.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Do something. Let's get, put it on the
We'll start on it this week.
All right.
Just want, do you want to talk, or are you just here for good times?
We settled the issue with the, ethical.
Okay,
I'm gonna drop off first the next year, the other two are staying,
okay.
so.
I didn't know if I didn't sit on here.
I don't know, I didn't even look at. the
It
thing.
is,
Okay.
it's under, it's in
Under unfinished.
number 8, yeah.
So let's just go ahead.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I didn't.
No, you're fine,
we could have done that.
it's fine.
You gonna note it, Michelle?
So basically, yeah, so first next year I'll drop off, and then Wendy and Carolyn will,
Do they know which terms they're gonna do?
I guess they're gonna stick where they are, so. One of them was 2, one of them was 3,
Okay.
so.
Is that a motion you want to make? Just a.
Does anybody know which term was who?
I think,
Carolyn was new.
I think Carolyn was 2, Wendy was 3.
Carolyn was 2, Wendy was 3.
So basically that would put me at 1, so.
You trying to get out of here.
Wendy 3.
And actually, I might when that year's up, I may renew for another year and we'll see.
The minutes from last week that we just approved said,
Well, I was gonna try and get them here, but it's like, it's for one.
said Carolyn was appointed to a 2-year term and Wendy was elected for a 3-year.
Yeah, that's right.
Sure. What am I?
Jana dropping off.
Jana's gonna drop all of them?
Yeah,
Okay, motion that Dana's gonna drop off at the beginning of next year. Carolyn will maintain her 2-year and Wendy will maintain her 3-year on the Board of Ethics.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
1, 2, 3. Also, the paper that you sent out,
yes.
do you have anything that you need to?
We had sent out, was it a relative to make sure that nobody was related to anybody?
Related parties.
Yeah, related party. No, we got none back.
Okay. Whoa.
No, you sent back the financial disclosure. It's 2 different forms.
Okay.
I actually need both forms and
You improved the one she saw.
part of a good point. If you don't want to email them, drop them off here. Put them in the envelope, it's fine. If you want me to, I'll send out an email tonight.
Send us out another
I'll send you an email tonight to remind everybody, if you can just drop them off here, if you don't want to send out email, because I mean, it's,
So do we send the one that was approved by the commission or both of them? Because the second one is something they created. It's not.
yeah, that's the relative.
The related
Well,
party.
that's what the one approved by the commission asks. It asks about related parties, if you have anybody.
Yeah, it's just, it's a form that I have on my checklist for the audit, for the disclosures in the audit. And if we have form, that means that the clearly defines the related parties.
There's conflict of interest form or whatever we do the first year. That we had the big.
But that's awareness, that doesn't list who is
Yeah,
actually related and if we paid anybody that's related. Okay. It's pretty
Now-
simple. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just being aware of it so it can be disclosed. And then you look for reasonableness. So let's say that Cody hires his son, pays him $500 an hour to mow. That's probably not reasonable, and then that would be, a red flag for the
Yeah,
audit.
right.
But that's all it is. It's just disclosure of real related parties that have been paid money that we can say, yeah, they're reasonable, that's fine. It doesn't mean it's.
that there's a problem with it. Right, right.
Send it back, I have no problem.
Okay, I'll do that when I get home tonight. I'll send everybody out an email and like I said, if you want to drop them off here, put it seal it in an envelope and there's a drawer over there.
We can just email them to you too.
Well, if you want to, that's fine, or,
Lives on the email forever.
right,
Is that,
he brought up that.
is that just going to commission members or is that going to others?
The clerks did them and anybody that's in a just spending money, I would think the sheet should do them too.
Okay, because.
Anybody that has
that's
budget,
the person brought up that sheet that we can't do unless it's approved by the commission.
Okay, but this is, let's do this for the purpose of.
Yeah.
And I get another letter from him on other types of things directly for the audit, but this is just something that's kind of on the checklist that I have for my peer review, that I just didn't have a source.
And I do have a handful of the financial statements, so I'll get those. And they're here, actually.
Did you send out the one for the
Related
email?
parties.
For either one.
I sent out one for the related parties. I'll resend everybody again
Okay.
here when I
So I
bring
have
it
to
back.
print them out, so I could just. I can't stand it. I can't stand it, knowing that I didn't
It's fine.
do it.
We'll get them. So, but yeah, I'll resend all that tonight and if you feel comfortable emailing back, great. If not, drop them off here. Either way, fine. So, all right,
Sorry to keep.
you're fine. You're fine. No problem.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you guys.
All right, attorney briefing?
Well, let's see, there's, I have one is a second reading of the ABC ordinance by summary. And, this is an ordinance relating to amendments made to the ABC ordinance. This ordinance is authorized under KRS 241 through 244 and amends the current ABC ordinance, section 114 of the city ordinances of the city of Campground, Kentucky. Specifically, this ordinance creates new licenses for Sunday sales and cannabis-infused beverages, inserts new language related to quotas for particular licenses, adds language bringing city forms into compliance with state ABC law, adding a $50 application fee and directing applicants to where they comply to necessary forms, changing the hours of sales for Sundays, inclusion of language requiring server training and other training certificates to be displayed, and establishing penalties for failure to display, addition of language prohibiting consumption at the point of purchase unless properly permitted, addition of language establishing penalties for failure to follow hours of sales requirements, an addition of contingency clause stating vacancies in the ABC administrator role will be filled by the chief of police. The ordinance provides that it will take effect immediately after its passage and publication as required by law. And that's a second reading.
I guess, you need a motion? Make a motion to accept the ABC ordinance.
Second.
All those in favor?
Can we do a roll call, just so that it's valid?
Commissioner Meadows, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mayor Jones, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Coker, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Perry, how do you vote?
No. Hey, Joe, can I ask a question before you move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Can, how many times does it have to be posted? For it to be legally acceptable and what I'm trying to say is when's the start date?
It's effective upon publication.
One time?
Newspaper, one time.
One time, so if we post it Friday, they can sell this Sunday.
Well,
If they obtain
it's
this,
in Friday's newspaper.
Right.
Right.
okay, secondly. There's no reason why we can't pay out ABC money to fund the publication, right?
100% should be.
Yeah.
So make sure that it's out of the,
Plus, I think we discussed this, but any attorney fees associated with doing
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
Should be out of ABC.
Well, that's Zach.
Zach.
Zach, yeah.
Zach.
So do we wanna put a date on that? Like, or just whenever we
No,
get it?
After it's posted.
So, I mean, the ordinance itself says it's effective upon passage and publication.
Well, what scares me is it gets put in Friday and nobody has their permit to sell Sunday.
Oh. Is it extra permit to do so? No, if it's just open Sunday sales. that's
No,
that way, but-
there is a requirement by state in that ordinance that you have to pay a $5.
I mean,
Yeah, it's something, it's not something that we did, but
Yeah.
Zach said it had to be in there.
maybe that it's not gonna happen this Sunday.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if we publish it, our ABC administrator, if they don't have this thing paid, don't have their certificates, then that's between him and
Yeah,
the party, right? We publish it, say it's there, they have to be compliant on their own. We don't have to
Yeah.
comply to state.
I was just making sure, you see my confusion, like,
Yeah.
they possibly could go in Friday and Sundays.
They don't have their,
So if somebody could come in Friday and get it and sell Sunday,
yeah, if it's been published.
good deal?
All right.
So, Zach needs to sign this summary. He said in an email that he was gonna come by tomorrow morning to sign.
Okay.
Sign.
Um,
Molly and for Jennifer, you
Hey.
actually sign
no,
the ordinance and the summary.
can I stop us? There's a problem with the way it was recorded.
Commissioner, here, let me put it this way. Commissioner Perry, can you verify, did you second the motion?
Yeah,
And then your vote was?
no.
No,
Okay, no, I've
she asked
never
me and I
run
didn't-
into that.
Yeah.
Understood, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Mayor, next, be on the agenda is penalty for parking, towing and snow emergency, and I don't have any information
we'll
on that.
table it.
And then the next is the distillery property, and that is the restrictive covenant for the distillery property, which we talked about last time, and I think I emailed all of you the restrictive covenant I prepared. I also sent it to the Joneses, and I hadn't heard anything back from them. So if the commission's okay with it, then just a motion authorizing the mayor to sign the declaration of restrictive covenant regarding the distillery property.
You know, Rob came and talked about, he was concerned about it, should wait till he hears for sure this is what he
I
wanted.
think he was concerned
You
that,
know, he was concerned that it didn't have it on
Oh,
there.
yeah.
and Joe, I guess he had reached out.
Yeah,
That was a past commission
yeah.
requirement.
The language that's in here is taken from the minutes that I happen to have in my file.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
A second?
Well, to authorize the mayor to sign.
I'll make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign.
Yes, sir.
The covenant.
The agreement with Rob Stiller.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Simon P. Jones assigned. I'm sorry, you're voting?
Favor.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Public Works?
All right, so couple things. One, all the mulch in the area in the back has been done. Cedar Grove Baptist Church, sent 14 individuals down to help spread all the mulch. Miss Peggy's husband, Mr. Angel, he brought his tractor down and he hauled all the mulch to all the playgrounds for us. And, it was about a 3.5, 4 hour process from start to finish. And, I just want to do a special thanks, for Cedar Grove. Because they went above and beyond. They didn't just do the playgrounds. All of the, they got weeded, they added moss to those. All of the equipment around the walking trail, has mulch, on the equipment. One of them actually cleaned out the spring a little. And so they just went above and beyond, putting their community effort into the community. So big thank you from me on that.
I'll second that.
The other thing I wanted to bring up today, well, there's several things, but I won't bring them all up. So we have a budget for a new awning over the back door for $825. I talked to, the awning company, that price is now $910. So I want to go ahead and get that done before the price goes up again. But it's not in my current budget, so I'll need approval to do that. So we have to vote on that.
Under 1,000.
It's under 1,000.
And from the sound of it, you're up. What we talked to. Yeah.
So I was approved for 3,000 in mulch and I only spent 22.25. So I have justification. Justification. Okay. It's only, $85.
It's good for awareness of that.
Yeah. The other thing, there was actually a community member, that brought this up and I actually agree. The picnic tables in the pavilion are trash. So I have looked at getting metal tables that will not go bad. And I'm planning on adding this to the budget for next year. It's $5,600 for 8 metal tables.
And cat accessible.
2 of them will be, yes.
Go ahead and throw the fans in there while you're at it.
Yeah.
Please.
So maybe go for 8,000 for everything for the pavilion.
That's. Okay.
Yeah. I'm meeting Thursday, with a company to give me pricing on laying the bricks. I have officially made July 31st, the last day to purchase bricks. And I will have a tent set up at the May 2nd, the May 16th, and the July 4th events to sell bricks. So, and I've got a nice banner for it and I'll have this displayed on the table and some images of what it's gonna look like. So we're gonna try to push it really hard over the next 2 months and get as many people as we can so they can make that a thing. And I have not had anybody in yet to do the building estimate. I'll try. We're working on it. But, I'll get somebody in here as soon as I can.
Please stay on top of your air filters, everything on that.
Checking this morning.
At least we can do.
Well, I have,
Freights is not here.
There is something that I want to talk about that Megan has reached out. She was, wanting to make sure that everybody's okay with that. We pay Wiley, Messer, the high school, Great Crossings. They've made our flagpole holders the $366 in money that we need to spend. Which just wanted, still, I told her she didn't need approval for that, but she just wanted to make everybody aware and, go ahead and pay Wiley so we can get them and have them put in and installed maybe before 4th of July. Yeah. She also started, putting in signs. They look great. Can't ask for nothing better. And that'll be a work in progress. Not gonna be all done in one time.
I can actually see them out of my truck now. Sits put.
Except for the one on Burton on the corner of Birch, it's kind of short. Kind of,
Is that a new one already?
yeah, it's a new one. It's kind of covered up by that bush.
From my bush. I'll trim it again.
We have to set an ordinance for the bush.
Listen, I did it the last time and my husband went crazy. On it and, he about destroyed it, so I will trim it myself this time, okay?
I think it should be fine. I think that's an old signpost.
I really wanna tell Darren, rules, thank you for helping the city. That's, you know, that's a big undertaking there.
Done a good
Yeah.
job.
Done a great job.
And there's more to come. So,
Yes.
A couple of sidewalk things I had, one, storm damage last night, how long we want to get people to get trees off the sidewalks? The city ordinance is they have to keep it free at all times, and there's a big tree across the street from you on the sidewalk.
yeah, there's also a mailbox there too, so.
Oh, I didn't see the
Well,
mailbox
no, I mean, it's sitting,
on top of it.
no, we're just in the middle of the sidewalk.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, yeah, that, yeah.
So that kind of.
Yeah.
I see where it needs to be taken care of, but also it's like, as a city.
Can't do one and not the other.
I mean, storm damage is kind of necessary. Go. At least the one up where you're talking about the mailbox, people that can walk around it. Nobody can walk across the tree line across the side.
Trees sticking out on Seabury right there, it's an intersection across from your house too.
Oh, I hadn't seen that.
But, it's a pear tree, Bradford pear tree.
Yeah, I think we should give them some time. And if it's not resolved by the next meeting, for sure, if we start getting complaints, we can get code enforcement to come out, I guess, maybe look into it. I don't know. I'm sure they're gonna reach out to John, unfortunately.
At least.
At least, yeah, at least the weekend. I,
And then the other question I had was 3364 Main Street. It's now been, I brought this up 3 meetings ago. This hadn't been repaired here in front of the sidewalk, and you can't get over in a power chair or wheelchair.
Right here.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm calling. I just brought a note to call.
Thank you.
sorry.
Appreciate it.
My bad, I dropped the ball.
No, we said we would give it a while and see if they did it, but
Yeah.
we've given them a while.
Well, I've got to call them anyway, because, we need them to bring that pump truck out, pump the
Mhm.
water fountain back there. So, I'll see if they can get that done too.
I think it's, last thing I got for streets is the parking lot. So John, put out the 10 parking spots that we were talking about earlier. Do we want to move forward with either trying to get it painted or we want to try to do it ourselves, or what do we want to do? I'm not opposed, if somebody wants to volunteer their time, that we give them minimum wage. Volunteer time is understanding. But also, if a commissioner goes out there and does it, like, I think they should be earning reimbursement. I mean, cause it's gonna be expensive. If somebody doesn't do it.
There's a lot more to that than just like.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
That's what, the thing is really probably need to get technical about it, of somebody playing it out, like. But I think we need to get some spots down.
yeah. I mean, again, it's kind of something I said a million times in here. It's my house, I paint it myself, but North City,
Yeah.
we want it to last. A commercial person does for a business, they'll clean it properly, they'll put the right type paint down.
Yeah.
They'll be within the measurements they know they need to be and begin. They come into those machines at a little later and they're done.
So, basically what it is, as long as we're still okay with what John has drawn, I'm gonna start sending that out, that email that he sent out, and start getting estimates we put in the budget.
It's got measurements on it.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure that we're on the same page. I didn't know if we wanted to do it, or try to do it, or if we wanna try to budget for it, and it sounds like we wanna try to budget for it. So-
I asked Darren if he thought that he'd feel comfortable with it.
No, he actually said that if it was already done, he would redo it, just paint
Yeah, that's the
over.
thing.
Yeah, it's not been done, so. I will reach out to Georgetown. They've got a Public Works, what is his name?
Ruin.
Bruin.
Ruin.
They have means of doing that, so maybe we would work something out with them. That's gonna be my first stop. If not, I'm gonna try to find some third party. Economic development, so, yeah, things are,
Are they developing?
I met with Peggy on Friday and Michelle. I pretty much approved the letter that we are gonna send out here in probably the end of the month, I believe, or the end of next month, whatever. Just letting businesses know, hey, it's time to come pay your business license. It's getting that time. I didn't see anything wrong with it. It's in the best interest for the city. That will be expensive stamps, but that will be sent to every business. Also, I will tell you all, I keep getting, and Zach has been involved with this, but the grocery store just keeps wanting to serve alcohol by the drink.
Hmm.
Zach is on top of it. I'm just making you all aware of it, that he has been informed. And you have to do a certain amount of sales
Hmm.
to even be able to do that. And also being that close to the school, I don't know. So just be aware that it is being talked about, that they have addressed it and Zach is working with them on that matter. They may not meet even the goal to even be able to do that. There has been concerns brought up about even selling alcohol that close, but it's packaged, so it's like a gas station at that point. So business related, that is something that we will have to pretty much watch. Hopefully Zach can get us some answers. Also, we don't have any, we really don't have any, vacancies. We have one building for sale and one building for rent, but we're not even advertising, so, I wish I had more places to put. I get contacted all the time. Somebody trying to build something, do something. That's kind of our limitation right now, so we'll just keep up what we got and.
Coming up with that.
So, it's funny, I was actually, having a meeting this weekend, regarding Commonwealth. And I don't think that, from the sounds of it, it's pretty much they're using it for a softball, practice facility.
No, the front building is still used for their business. They still have, big machines in it and inventory.
I'm not, they take care of it. Yeah, so.
I didn't see anything in there for you.
The lights are
I
on.
talked to a couple
The
of
lights are
people,
on.
they did.
Yeah. I
It
saw
makes
it.
door stuff in there.
But the thing is they take care of it. I don't have a problem with that. And it's not dilapidating. And, it's unfortunate that we're missing out that revenue of having business in here, but, ultimately we don't own that. We don't have say on that.
I don't know what the original agreement was on the property and stuff with the building and with the additional lots. But the additional lots that are there are the only industrial lots in this town.
Right now we have some behind us too. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
We can only, when they're ready, we're ready. That's where I'm gonna state that. That's pretty much all I have for economic
With
development.
our ordinance, though, that is not a state.
We don't have as long, we have a dilapidated, they have to keep it maintained.
Yeah, and there's no utilities on that.
Yeah, so we don't have a tax or anything where they're not, there's nothing like
I
that.
thought there was a 6-month ordinance that either has to be occupied or.
I'm not aware of it.
If it has utilities on it, and it doesn't have water or electric on it. That water station belongs to Georgetown. The dilapidated ordinance, it says it has that, if it has a utility on it, it has to be built or used. We used to own that property, by the way, the city did.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm getting.
We gave it back.
Blighted or abandoned,
Yeah,
blighted and abandoned ordinance.
yeah, it's not in that.
I don't know if that would apply.
I didn't say it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
I'm just saying,
It's something to talk about. I mean, if it's something the city wants to look at.
that's a big property
It is.
that somebody could be in.
I agree.
And then there's 3 other lots back there that would be nice if they would let those go to people that could actually use them.
That, it's private owner.
Mm.
One thing, that's all I really have for economic development, but one thing I want to say is thank you to Commissioner Brown and everybody else that went forward putting Commonwealth Drive. Anybody's been down there, it looks phenomenal. They put a new drain in, the money went, and I think it's been paid now. And we're all square on that. So it's gonna help the businesses, maybe even Commonwealth.
No, I'm thinking of matches, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But we're working on that.
Okay. Cause it's grant money. But, so we're not square, but it looks good. It looks good.
Yeah.
February and March finances, everyone had a chance to look at them?
That was,
I know. Everybody looked at them?
already? Look at yours today.
Yeah.
If you wanna do it.
How about we come back to this and we just let her,
Yep, I'm down with that. All right, so can we just move along and get the other stuff done real quick?
yeah, let's do the rest of it.
Speaker and camera for computer and Zoom calls.
So Peggy's computer has sound, you can hear things, but she can't talk to anybody through Zoom call and she doesn't have the camera.
You guys need that, so. Do you have a price on it? You already looked it up?
No, I have not, sorry about that.
When she mentioned it to me, it's about $30 a component.
You think she could use the phone?
Well, I mean, to be honest, you can use that for Zoom calls.
Well, I'm talking about, if we get her a phone. The,
Oh, yeah, if they had that phone, yeah, that'll work. If it's,
I'm just,
yeah, if it's a smartphone, that probably works better than putting something in the computer, to be honest.
We do Zoom calls to look at questions and transactions, so Zoom calls, I can see their screen, I can show.
I think
With that.
probably better.
That's better, yeah.
The
Yeah.
camera.
I think I'm trying to justify your phone.
And I
It'd
appreciate
be really small to
that.
see that spreadsheet.
It'd be big
And
on yours.
if it's something that you wanted to wait and ask Chip when he comes, you know.
Yeah, I think I would do that with the IT.
You know, if there's a certain one that maybe he suggests or something like that.
Yeah, because you might actually be able to get the monitor, I mean, something that's better than to put the camera on an old monitor, so,
Yeah.
yeah, I would have to.
So,
Well, you don't want the camera to be on all the time either.
yeah.
Yeah, and I like having my camera.
So we'll let maybe Chip give you some input and let's have hard numbers of what you want for the next meeting.
Yeah, but I don't think you have to run it by, I mean,
Well,
it's
It's
a crazy amount.
you.
Yeah.
You have to run it by her.
Just let me, yeah, just let me know. Building repairs, you said that you're still working on that.
Yeah, people should be.
Oh, I'm sorry, people see, I skipped right over.
And then, talking about audiovisual stuff in the hour, when you text me today, you couldn't log in, I'm gonna come down here myself and sit down at this computer, because I don't know why you weren't able to log in, because in that book we gave you with the instructions, that has YouTube, the app that you use to download
Don't
that.
even worry about it, because when Chip comes down, what we're gonna do is set everything up on this new phone.
If we do.
We're gonna get it.
Okay,
We just fine.
Yeah,
gotcha.
we're gonna get it.
Because I didn't understand, because if you look at that, that was set up under an email you control, the City of Stamping Ground AV. So it shouldn't ask you for, I don't know why it did, so that'd be better to do it all in one place,
We'll
because
just-
I'd ask for that.
We're gonna do it, just start over and just do it all fresh and
Can we get,
start over.
maybe ask Chip, because Chip, I talked to him originally when we were getting out. I have a lot of complaints with this Microsoft Word. It's not a problem. We need to have it in case one of us needs to zoom in for this meeting, but can we not broadcast? Can you talk to him about getting that up on YouTube Live?
We can ask.
Because he said that it can be done. Just,
I promise you, I don't know anything about it.
Well,
I can ask you.
will you put that on the punch list for you? To ask? I have a lot of complaints that this web, like this, and I know that Dale has answered them 100 times. Click it. Well, I mean, I've seen posts like, Stephanie and all of them, and it's hard, but if we put it on YouTube, it's just another,
It's just another
Another
already
avenue.
there. They just have to submit that. But I figured that's probably the easiest way to do it,
No, it's.
is for him to just,
When she told me wouldn't let her in, I'm like, I don't know why, because you control the email.
for him to just start completely over. And if we have that phone, and that way we're not using anybody else's anything, and it's all fresh and, yeah. People CD, Michelle, you wanna tell them what we did there?
So we went ahead and rolled that over. So it's got another 5 months and it will mature on September 18th. The interest rate is 3.39. If y'all, let's look at that. I think I have another one here. Okay, maybe it's not.
also we're doing another 5.
Yeah. Okay, building repairs, you said you're still waiting?
We already discussed, we drove it, something like that.
Yeah.
Building repairs, by next week, I'll have people actually looking.
IT support, we already talked about that. We already did ethics, planning and zoning, 7-year audit. Do we need to talk about this again?
Anybody? Anybody with me?
The debt issue.
Well, we talked about it. And I asked Dale if he, if this is something that the commission wants, and I even asked Dale if he had some examples that he could show or share with us. If he had found anything. I personally don't know which way to go with this, because we did said at the end of the budget, we would quit looking. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been looking this week. Especially after talking.
I don't think there's any reason to talk about it. If somebody finds something about a deadline that says they might do it for a cheap price, we can bring it up, but I mean.
Well, here's the thing, if we do away with the audit, I say it's time to remove the documentation and only keep what we were bound to keep. What that may be, maybe Joe can validate that.
5 years.
Well, I wouldn't. Something was said about somebody did a record request for a certain period of time. I wouldn't delete anything until that's done.
That information was permanent.
That information was permanent.
That information was information that's permanent anyway. Right?
Okay. What I'm saying is all the paperwork they have back here, Michelle and Peggy have consolidated. And you made a valid point, Dale, is that we don't follow the, yeah, we don't personally follow them, but the guidelines that they give. The thing that scares me is that this 7-year audit or this 10-year audit we just had, if there was something in there and they did find it, or, if we didn't have that documentation,
You don't have it.
you don't have it.
Mhm.
And that's, can be good and it can be bad, because we can be held accountable for something that corporations don't hold on to documents.
Only once we have knowledge of it. If we
Right.
can.
Yeah. That's where I'm at.
It actually increases your risk the longer you hold on to documentation. It's just a fact. You can get somebody, they get burnt, somebody comes and.
Yeah.
The thing that
I'm,
scares,
I'm totally good with it, because after she started digging there and she was finding things mixed in with the current year's budget, I'm like, oh my God, why? I mean, so, yeah.
so here's my thing. I don't know what we need to do to say that, all right, we want to keep 4 years of this, 3 years of that. I don't know what to do.
It's whatever legally by statute. we have.
Okay, so we follow the legal statute that they follow,
I'm not sure there's a statute that says.
That is about the laws, yeah.
Records.
or just a recommendation.
You can have a record retention policy,
There you
is
go.
what I would do, is a record retention policy, and say it's based on guidelines presented by what they have, and you guys vote on it, and
And that,
they can change it if they want.
and that,
APLA actually updates that quarterly and they have a whole schedule.
That's all you have, right? You just have to refer to our policy follows this. guidance.
So that may be something that we need to maybe look into following that.
Yeah.
That at least gives you something to say, well, we follow.
Yes, it's our policy.
and KDLA and ask KLC, they're our insurer, what they think, and then that's just a municipal order. That's internal to the city, right?
true.
So we can do that in one meeting. I mean, we could pass that and be done.
Maybe we request the attorneys to the best practice for us
Well,
Attorneys.
I think
and
the
count.
Department of Library and Archives would have their kind of standard.
I will actually mention that in the audit this year, just general policies, the things like that we should have. Because I have to look at that to see if you're in compliance with your policies, and right now I have some minutes that I look at. But record retention would be a internal control type policy, which is the ones I look at. I don't look at everything.
So do you want Zach and I to
Yes,
propose a municipal order establishing a record retention policy?
yes. And I say we hold documentation until that is set forth. And if anybody can find somebody that's willing to do the 7-year audit, so be it.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna try to.
Is that, do we need to make a motion, or is it just,
No, not at this point.
Okay.
I mean, it's on the
we all good with that?
punch list.
Okay,
I have a question.
yes, sir.
Well, I know we're talking about financials, but what about like personnel files, things like that?
That's in
Well,
retention schedule too.
What I'm hoping to discover, thank you, Department of Library and Archives, is there are, or Department of Local Government, somebody's got a standard policy
For personnel, financial.
various types of things.
I mean, I've been going through evidence and stuff like that, and I use CourtNet, and you go through court records and things like that, and that's easy to do, those parts. There's a whole drawer full of applications, personnel files and stuff like that down there that people haven't worked here for 10 or 12 years, but they're still down there.
And I don't, at some point, you gotta get rid of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't think the applications you have to hold on to.
Yeah,
Well, let's see, but, Department of Library and Archives or DLG, but they have.
Well, maybe we can adopt something that falls before the city, police and fire,
could be government wide.
government wide.
Well, I would, yeah, police and fire might have their own specific requirements.
Right.
Please.
I feel like I have seen in the KDLA schedule some things that would only be in regards to police. Now, I haven't noticed anything for fire yet, but there are a few things in there that it really feels
I
like
do
there's something.
one policy,
Policy just for local.
but you could have your sections, and they may have another source that you're going by authoritative source. So your first authoritative source is gonna be what they saw, retention.
Yeah.
But then as you get to the specifics, there might be a police authoritative source or a fire recommended authoritative source that we would use, which just means where are you getting that guidance from? Or that's what would be different, but I just have one policy, make it easier to.
I think she's right, because you're gonna have other things,
Yeah.
like you get grants, you have some grants, you
Yeah.
have to keep all that paperwork for the grant cycle to done. You know, they're saying this grant lasts for 10 years over time, and you have to keep that until the end of that grant. And
Sounds good.
Look into that, I'll email Zach. I don't know.
And he can reach out to me. I've got all kinds of resources where I've looked at the best in class, type of policies like that.
All right. Credit card processing?
Miss Maggie had looked into the square, and this is what we found, 2.6% plus 15 cents is the processing rate. The software is free, essentially, at least to get started out. There's no long-term contracts with the square. She did look it up as well. It would have to have a tablet to go with it, and that would be the big, that would be the $300.
You can do it at that phone
Yeah.
in front, you can do
yeah,
it.
once we get that phone,
Yeah.
there's another good reason to keep it. There you go.
Yeah.
That's the fun.
Let's just get that.
So do I need to go, well, Mr. Howard from Verizon, get that set up,
Yeah.
sent here tomorrow.
Will it be, can we ask and see if it'll come like a separate bill?
I've already talked to him,
Okay.
it can be a separate.
Well, we can make a motion on it.
Do we need to?
If you wanna create a record.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're justified.
Okay, I make a motion that we go ahead and have John, send an email and set up the sub-account
You might be here Friday.
for the clerk's cell phone.
So with that, he would just direct them from this point forward, all communications and control that account, be the clerk.
I'll get it on.
Yeah, that phone.
Yeah.
It's the way he changed that account, he added me to the account, so they still have access to it.
Is that
Well-
Dawn's old number?
But it should just be in the clerk's name.
It'll be a new phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we get a new phone number?
Yeah, it'll have a new-
Okay.
Yeah,
but so. Yeah.
All those in favor?
Ken seconded.
Alright.
This fee that she's talking about, this is gonna be applied to them, right? If
Yeah,
they're using.
We talked about,
Yeah,
just like
it's
the
not
clerks
cost
do, just like the clerks, if you pay your taxes,
Right.
they say you're gonna pay the
Yeah.
fee on.
Everybody can move into that.
Yeah, so if we go this route, we have to publish that information before
It
they?
has to be posted.
Yeah, so. Do you all wanna move forward with Square? There's no contract?
No, you can cancel any.
Okay. I mean, if y'all want the attorneys look over it, it's fine, too.
Maybe we can get some more, or,
You swear it, mile.
Okay,
You know,
so
how you swear.
I guess we need to make a motion to use Square.
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion to use Square to accept city business payments.
I'll second that motion. All those in favor?
And the other ones are gone and canceled, right? They don't, are the other ones canceled?
Yeah.
Machines, the other machines are gone.
Wait a minute. Didn't our bank say that they could do this?
They did. They said, yeah.
Yeah, banks are starting to do that. I
They
would
may not
mention
charge
that,
the fee.
but you, it
Well, it don't matter.
usually, I don't know, I just tried it with US Bank and they wanted me to kind of try it and we had some
Actually,
actually offers when
I think they did say they would provide a POS to do it.
Yeah, can we revoke this?
Check on It's really like, a lot of banks used to not do it, but almost all of them are doing it
So
now.
People's Bank, they do their transactions through Clover Go. And Clover Go, I actually switched to Clover Go from Square. And now I kind of regret that.
Yeah,
Clover Go, you know, they kept adding more fees and more fees and more fees and.
It's like fishing, get you in there and
So we'll just keep.
Yep, stay square.
Square.
Square is so easy and it's easy to get out of it if you need to get out of it.
Okay, square it is. Okay,
I'm in the process of changing now.
okay. All right, moving along. Parking lot. Okay, parking.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Hey,
Go ahead, Cody.
so, John and myself have reached out. The parking lot that we had surveyed behind us, we want to put up a sign so that nobody's blocking an entrance or doing any kind of, basically dedicating private and public parking.
Talking about the gravel lot back. there.
Yes.
What could be a gravel lot?
Yes. John actually printed these out. It would be a sign that we would put it on the edge of the easement to signify at the back of the property what is what. Because the last thing we want to do is have anybody having a problem, parking on the wrong side or doing anything like that. Also, no, down here.
Up here.
The
Part
so
that's in there.
they had what was it, 140 people at the park this weekend after you left, Kim? Like they had a big get together
It was huge.
and the parking, they were parked everywhere. And, like I said, we need to mitigate parking issues. So basically what this is we need to, I guess she's not here to okay this. I don't know if you talked to her, if she's
I
willing
talked to her
to.
this afternoon and, I sent her an email to have that information on.
Right,
Having the sign made and shipped here is about $158.
yeah, so basically,
It's a pretty substantial, 2 feet by 3 feet.
yeah,
And it indicates private property and public park.
It's less than $1,000.
oh yeah, and she was just bringing it, making sure the commission was good with.
Reflective green, like all the street signs and everything, would be the same.
Yeah. I have no problem, as long as y'all are okay with it.
Do you need a vote?
No, it's under.
One other thing, since we're talking about that lot back there, I think, just my opinion for future use, I think it should have an entrance from the park. So that,
So that is a historic rock wall, and I doubt
Yeah.
you're gonna get an entrance in there.
well,
Cause I actually,
I don't know who built it.
yeah, I did,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he does too. And I actually brought him down there trying to do, mitigate a easement, and he didn't even really wanna entertain that. Because it's historic. He rebuilt it.
Yeah.
That was built on Buffalo. But still, he built the original rock wall and he revamped it.
Right.
I did try that. I also had him look at the corners that somebody's hit, and I was like, that might be something you wanna think about putting in budget to have him repair that wall.
Whatever the jump is.
It's Kenley, David Kenley.
Okay.
He's
Now, what about, so at some point in time, when we put the pavilion in, that used to be a rock wall in it.
No, there's always a gate, and that gate was there.
That was only the game. They hadn't opened it up and put the pillars.
I don't think so. I think the gate was there already to get over to the, That was a train came through there was a water fill station, there was a burger pots, and I think that was, I
They
think
used to
I've
be-
seen the photo of the.
There used to be a
burger
big
pots.
bridge there too for the train.
And you've been trestle span.
Trestle span.
Yeah.
Um,
You know, and I get that we're talking about up further, but, you know, anytime, even with a low rise curve, you still got some issues that could be an impediment on view and vision, and cars popping right around the corner, and there's your entrance, and somebody's trying to go in there. The further away from that curve.
You gotta think about it, it's gonna be more dangerous to put something there.
also, so everybody's in agreement with this.
Yeah, the sign needs to happen.
This sign needs to happen. There was talks about putting gravel down. John, I guess they talked to Pop, or I don't know how that came about,
We were talking about that sign.
the sign, and I guess
He said, you know, wow, he just
put
put
gravel.
dense grade gravel there, 4 loads would be about $2,000 and a couple of hours with a skid steer for about $500. If you put gravel.
So looking forward, $2,500, budget time comes around, we need to maybe consider that. So keep that in your mind. Also, regarding public parking lots, I wanna go ahead and have her find, now it's not a city ordinance, and this is something that we need to look into, but I don't know if it necessarily, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that it has to be a city ordinance if the city public puts a sign up that says no overnight parking. There's some concerns about this parking lot over here. Some people are parking there and overnight. You know, if it's something that we wish to desire to do,
What'd you do overnight, or just do like Main Street, say no longer than 24 hours?
it's up for discussion. I'm not, it's just brought to my attention. The thing that with no overnight parking is that you could get somebody that comes in and with an RV and sets up camp and rolls out more, which.
And that'll be solved with, once you get parking lots, you can't take up more than 2 parking spaces.
I'm just saying, like, do we want to do no overnight parking? I don't know how we do that. This is what I'm asking is for guidance.
Well, our ordinances have some statements about parking, but I don't think it contemplates a parking lot. It's like a street parking.
Which we're getting ready to redo all that.
That's right. So I think, and you may want to put in there, just something like the city commission may
So
designate,
parking hours.
parking restrictions,
Right.
right? And in fact,
So
if you want to limit the hours somebody can park there, whether it's overnight or not, I mean, no more than 4 hours or 2 hours or.
Yeah, that's whatever we decide. So just keep that in mind when we redo this parking. It's that we're about to redo snow removal and all that. Penalties and all that, because I think it's $5 to have the parking fee right now. Which Zach is working on that.
Somebody puts a dead vehicle there, you'll tow it down there.
You ready for Melissa?
No?
Thanks, you guys, we're back.
No.
Would you like to,
Yeah, I'm wondering about the easement back there.
yeah, that's why I was asking. That's why we were asking if you wanted to talk earlier. Because we knew this was gonna be a long meeting.
Yeah, what is the easement? What, like, can somebody articulate it for me?
The easement, what are you?
There's a second easement on my property.
There's property next door.
Property next door, okay. It's not an easement, it's, the city owns the property.
No, that's not our driveway. They don't own the driveway.
Yeah, so the driveway, to my recollection, there's a pin that's like right in the center of the driveway.
That you all just put there.
They just had it surveyed. To back off the home records and stuff, but there's a shared use of the driveway. One is for the parking lot there, and then over there.
What we want to know is what easement you all are talking about, because the
Yeah, I need to
easement
actually see it.
in our deed
Yeah.
terminated when they were done with,
Yeah, it reverted back to us.
yeah, that's why we know.
Cannot adverse city property.
It wasn't city
That's
property.
not what we're talking
It's
about.
always been city property.
According to my deed, it belonged to Kitty Kane and never taxed it.
And here,
Do you,
No, not, like, no one has come and talked to us.
Nope.
and we
They
didn't,
send him over there
yeah, we
to
didn't,
intimidate us. So,
it wasn't intimidating. There was
He threatened me with a felony, so yeah, it kind of was.
well, there's a pin missing.
I didn't do it.
We didn't say you did.
It was implied, very heavy.
I didn't say you didn't or didn't. I'm just saying it was a pin missing. We just had it surveyed because of the parking lot. Now, with this being stated, what Mr. Coger is talking about, that pin, that is a shared driveway. So you have access from there. We both agree as a city, that is actually a share to get to the back of your property and to the parking lot. That's the
If
way.
there was any kind of right of way or easement, that would be indicated in my deed though.
did you look at, when I talked to you on the phone earlier, did you look at the driveway? Did you look at the pin that's at the?
I already knew what it all looked like.
It's a passway.
So I don't, I don't know if it's, maybe it's not called an easement. I don't,
I don't, yeah.
it's a boundary line.
Just catching up. Are we talking about the driveway right here next to the,
Oh, doctor's office.
No, back,
No, it's back here.
back here.
okay, back here?
That parking
Goes
lot,
to
that
Woodlake
is-
Road.
Yeah. Well, no, coming off, so this street, coming off it into the backyard over here. The doctor's office right past it, there's a driveway goes in there.
But that's been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long you been doing this? 30 years?
30 years, yeah.
Um,
So I'm not clear on what, deeds don't always say these things, you know, if a pathway's been established for a year, more than 15 years, then it's kind of set. Now there's a plat for this property and I'm not sure what that reflects.
shows passway.
Yeah,
And,
shows a pathway.
you know, I haven't seen the deed to your property, so all of that is involved in this, but that's been, an access or driveway for as long as I can remember. Now, the city hadn't owned, I've been city attorney a long time, but the city hadn't owned this property as long as I've been city attorney. The Women's Club owned this property and deeded it to the city, I don't know, 20 years ago.
So what are you wanting justification or like?
I mean, yeah, typically, as I understand it, any easement or right of way is typically with the city and it's not between the owner and private individuals.
I don't know anything about this specifically, about your piece of property and what.
Well, he said that John had told me that you had reached out to Joe in the past.
And so
Yes,
you and I talked, okay, I misunderstood, I guess, I thought you were talking about the area over here as you go towards Woodlake.
It's basically what's in that rock wall back there.
Okay, okay. And I guess it was my understanding that that's not encompassed within your deed.
It's not, we have a survey. But what we're getting at is the 4-foot section of driveway that is not in dispute, that is mine.
Okay. Well,
That people have to drive on to enter and exit, what you guys are calling the parking lot. There's no easement or right of way there. That is private property.
but it's been, I mean, people have been doing that for a while.
No,
no,
doubt.
they have not. We've been
I've
mowing
been
it.
living here for 10 years. Nobody has ever done that.
Okay. Then,
We mow it.
And the Norrises, before us, they took care of it up until, I think it was 1980 or something.
okay, so how long is, guess I'm trying to use the line of city claims that it's a public.
We had it surveyed.
Well, the survey also said there was no deed or title search done. So if they told you you owned it, they were wrong.
Okay, now
They
what
weren't supposed to do that.
so you all had a survey,
No,
We're getting
we're
one.
getting, yeah.
okay, but the city had a survey that said that was part of
Yes.
city property.
The pin splits the driveway.
Okay,
My
It's a
question,
it's a passway.
It's a passway.
the passway has been used,
Years.
By
by us
us,
exclusively,
no one else.
exclusively us,
how long have you all lived there?
since 2018.
I don't know, I mean, I can't answer questions.
Yeah, and
without looking.
what I would recommend is please, whatever we need to do,
Okay,
going forward with, talk to Joe, whatever.
well, and you got, and I got your name and phone number at my office, but I'll need
Yeah.
to look at the records.
So, we just had,
Is this,
Heath, what was his name?
It's he,
Heath, yeah. He just surveyed it. When he did this property, he also did that property because that was brought up last year and we paid him to do that.
Yeah.
We have documentation of paying him for doing that.
is that information you've got, Cody?
I think
Me or Michelle?
Michelle,
Do you have the invoices on the back?
I get, there's supposed to be a big one here. He, I think he's in active duty right now.
Yeah.
I think he's supposed to be back this week. I don't know. It's something we can follow up with. But
Okay, so that's what we all need to see is what that survey was.
yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that you sent me a copy of it. We can send it out again.
Yeah, if you could.
The deed you have, does it show the other easements on that property?
there was only one ever listed, and it was a construction easement between the Commonwealth of Kentucky
Yeah, no.
and, Poindexter, from Marie Louise Poindexter, I believe. And it was only until construction was finished and it reverted back to her. It's the only easement on the property.
Used to be an alleyway there.
There's, the reason I asked, there's a major storm drain that goes underneath there.
Oh, I know, you guys were talking about flooding. I know exactly where it is. I cannot get into or out of my driveway when it rains.
Yeah.
And you guys talk about putting gravel back, you might as well just throw your money down the drain. It will wash out into the park.
Well, and that's what you were talking about, the Commonwealth of Kentucky. That's there, they put the storm drain in. Yeah.
And that was the only easement on my property.
So, Michelle, if you'll send me that information, and then I'll just have to do a little research to see what you're talking about, see if I understand how the survey comes into play there. and Report back to you. Yeah. Thank you.
And you said in the meantime, you all have your own individual come out to look at it too, shoot it and everything.
Try to find some money.
But Ken, it's your, on the survey, it's your understanding that the property line is in the middle of this, what we're calling a passway?
It is, and the pen splits the other way. They have 4 feet on one side, we have 4 feet on the other.
So this is the property you're talking about. This is the back lot, and to my rocking, okay, that's their property over here, and that, see the driveway right there, that's what you're talking about. It's driveway. Yeah, it's on, plus there's mines for the PDA's line, but it's right there in the line.
Put a fence up on this side.
Bicycles on.
So, and this is city property,
Yeah,
and this is their house. So it's this,
yeah, the rocks is right there.
and so this is their drive, and they come off.
Every off Spring Street, but that's how they access the basement garage and everything.
Okay.
What? Oh, where'd you get your license at, buddy? This is not sure it's a big pipe anymore.
Okay, so Joe, you have their contact info.
I've got, their phone number at home.
And you might hear from Zach Osborne, he's our other attorney. He actually is the state easement representative, right?
Well, his,
And his day job.
yeah, I mean, for,
Historical.
Historical. Yeah. So he may
We'll get
refer
it
to you too. We'll get it resolved one way or the other. It may not benefit either one of us, but we'll figure something out.
Okay.
That's all we can offer.
Yeah.
You have to realize when we come on the commission that most of us are new and you get told somebody's, plus we did a survey.
How long, well, again, there was no deed or title search done. So you can't show ownership of that.
the surveyor should be.
Yeah, I was gonna say he is.
You know.
His
surveyor
documents,
does his work, he has to.
Yeah, for licensing reasons, yes.
I'll send this document to you, but somebody just sent me the passway easement for that property.
Okay.
Password easement.
regardless, we'll figure something out. Okay. We
I mean,
ain't trying to be.
has anybody been blocking it or?
Yeah, there was a gentleman who was talking to the chief one day, he was parked there 45 minutes at the very end of my drive.
So what
And
was
then the very
car?
first day, the chief let people park over there just a couple of weeks ago, they were parked over in my area, had to go to chief, go move.
Yeah,
Or they go to the park and have a party and then literally block the whole thing.
yeah, so that's what we're trying to mitigate.
That's why this street the other day, but they said it's blocking
Yeah.
Spring Street.
Can we send him so you
It's not
get
asking for parking there.
And listen, he's only doing,
I took the lady over there and showed her where to park. I don't have any control over people not paying attention or not listening.
right, and you're only doing what's best interest for the city. He doesn't have a personal vendetta or nothing like that. He is told to keep that road open.
That was actually. what
And
they said
obviously
was in
parking is an
something
issue
of your deed.
everywhere.
And it showed the passway easement. They're gonna send it to him.
We have the, if you're talking about where it lists the other deed in there, we have a copy of that too.
We'll let him do Joe's work, and I'm
I stay
not an attorney.
I stay out of the legal side of stuff.
Yeah, and
Let them do all that stuff.
we'll work our best, to mitigate this. If nothing else, like I said, I knew that was a problem with the parking. We wanted to make sure that if it is, in fact, a city property, they stay on their side.
Yeah.
Right. And that's one thing we can mitigate. Also, we're looking at even putting gravel all the way around through there. It will help you driveway for all of us to get in and out of our properties, if it is deemed ours. But regardless, we'll let Joe handle this, and he will advise us in the way that we need to process it.
Exactly.
Right. And Zach.
And hopefully that sign too. Hopefully
Yeah.
that sign, either way, hopefully that sign will help.
And I will tell you that if we get the sign in and we get it put up and it's not resolved, it's just as a time, we may not put it up and then you may have a parking problem. So just know that that's what that sign is basically for.
We're trying to make everything pretty. And then, I guess that's the easiest way to say. it.
Parking is a big,
Yeah,
this year has been the worst on parking, the last 2 years. It's everybody's parking. And it is a problem right
Who owns the top of the hill park?
now.
The city on, ain't it?
Vandergrift.
Yeah.
It's a perfect place for parking spot.
Where the, playground ends and the place is?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Vandergrift, and we've approached him over numerous commissions about letting it go.
Won't do it.
So
He actually owns there and down in between our two properties. He owns those things over in the middle of the ravine.
He did donate some property.
Initially, yeah.
and you have to realize, that's all we're trying to do is mitigate parking. If the city owns it, park there.
It's not a bad problem to have though. I mean, we're glad that we have an issue, we're glad that we have enough people that want to be in Stanford Ground to where we do have an issue, that enough people want to be down here, that we do have a parking issue. But at the same time, it doesn't help anybody either, so.
And we'll work together, guys. That's the only thing I have to promise. And it may, either way.
Yeah.
I have no skin in the game no more than anybody else. It's not that we want to take it from you. It's not, if it is ours, it is ours. If we have a passway, it's a passway. We're gonna work together regardless.
Okay.
Just along like this tree, we have problems. And I know John has talked to you about it. And, we've got to mitigate this problem over here. We've got problems
Are you having
downstairs.
problems with the roots too?
We had to pay $1,600 to get half of that tree cut down because it was hanging off our roof.
We don't know whose is whose, right, on that tree.
It was on top of our brand new roof.
So just realize that we have to be good stewards of you guys too, because we got a problem over here.
yeah, the roots of the tree are damaging the building.
And we did have to have, a pipe replaced because
Oh, yeah, we did.
it did get into
There's the main one.
the main sewer line.
Alright, that's not.
So you understand our concerns.
Yeah.
And there's nothing against you. No. I live here just as well as you guys do. I'd be pissed too.
Well,
Yeah, and we've had stuff in
This
the
is
past.
literally a 10-year journey now. Like that big chunk that's missing over there, they did that without asking.
Like our private little privacy we had, it's just
So-
gaping hole
It's
now.
like constant and repeated. It
I
feels
will tell you-
impressive.
that used to be the old bamboo plot. Isn't that what it was?
Yeah, there's maybe back there.
And the city had that, there's history that the city has owned that. Now, the right of way, I don't know, we need to discuss, okay? And Joe,
Shows on it.
Joe's on.
Like I said, I mean, like, 5D shows south is bordered by Kitty County, now F and Taggett, which I guess is the gentleman that was in the special housing call.
Can I tell you something that,
He was definitely doing some drugs, I'm just saying. I reported it a couple times, nobody did.
Okay, what's special house? I'm like, okay, I get it.
He had a wood stove coming out his glass door. I mean,
well,
Okay.
you gotta stay warm. I will also tell you something that I learned, surveyors will survey something and it's not on their determination whether it's yours or theirs. You have to go to court over that.
right.
Surveyors do not mark, they mark where it's supposed to be, and then you have to let the judge or court circuit or lawyers or whatever handle that. So that's kind of like,
But I do have one more question about that, the plat, right, that's marked out. What did y'all use to mark it out?
it's what he used, it's not us.
What did you?
Historical documents, I don't.
I don't know what there's a name for them though, the historical.
Is
And
there,
remember, he said something about a deed book and like something here.
It might be here,
The-
it might be.
Yeah.
Not all deeds are at Scott County, there can be deeds here.
Yeah,
Yeah, they don't have one in Scott County.
Yeah, so I mean, it's probably here.
tons of real estate, it's like even back in 1820s when they split this off into parcels downtown, and you have that as a starting point, if you really want to go that far back.
We'll let Joe work,
Okay, we'll let Joe work on it
we'll
and
do the best we can.
we'll do the best we can.
We'll work together, right?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Melissa? Yep. I know you're tired of being here.
Wait, hold on.
No. All right, so I'm just presenting to you really the guide, and we're just gonna talk about it. It's gonna be real simple. So if there's something you don't understand, please ask questions. We're gonna just talk about the process. So we're gonna start with this kind of little handbook we have, and that's what it is. It's a handbook that talks about the budgeting process. And, it's good. This is probably something you guys might want to adopt for a new commission to have that discussion, so they know about it very early in their commissioners, how everything is set. So that would be my suggestion. We've had it for a couple of years now, but you guys don't always get it until this time of year, and this, you already have to. All right, so the purpose of this handbook is just how, it's how the city plans, what it wants to do, and then builds a budget to pay for it. So everything you guys have been talking about tonight, you've talked a lot about a lot of different things. And that's really where it all ends up, is in the budget. That's what guides you throughout the year, if you do it right. So that's why it's kind of a strategic plan and a budget, which, you know, our chiefs know all about the strategic plan, which is part of it. The city leaders, the mayor, commissioner, then the police and fire chiefs are all accountable and responsible. So that's why I want to make sure they always have copies of the financials. They want to plan ahead and keep improving how we serve the community. The clerks, this is something that I want to point out. The clerks and the administration will lead the budgeting discussions. So Peggy's ready to lead the discussions at the next meeting. So this is a packet to get you ready, get you the data you need to start capturing the things you talked about tonight. I heard 4 or 5 times where you need to talk about this. So you can bring that to the next meeting with your due diligence line. They'll lead those discussions and they will keep the record. So that way we won't have the problem we had last year where we had different spreadsheets. They're going to be the holder of the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet got sent to you, so you can see it, the city as a whole. And that's once you have the next meeting, then we'll put it all together and then we can review it. So that's kind of how to think about it. This handbook talks about the steps, the timing, all the things that we're responsible for. So it's how it works together. It's how we check how well the planning is working and improve it. So we can always adjust this. It's just a guide. So if you guys can come up with better ways, explain what your role is and what you're expected to do. And then, like I said, we can always update this. So the city, it's kind of cool. 1853 was when it was incorporated. So that's really when your budgeting started. It's mayor. This is similar to just background of how the city is structured. This is our vision statement, unless we've ever changed it. So that's where your first strategic planning starts, right? Is what is the vision statement of the city? And then this was a mission that we captured before, as champions of local government. You guys say it every day or every meeting. Our work is guided by our core values. We strive to infuse our values into every action we take, both internally and with the communities we serve as stewards of our community trust and needs. And then in the past, we set forth 4 priorities. You guys can change this at this budget if something pops up that's a more priority because we've addressed previous priorities. But when we first started doing this, public safety was the #1 priority. And a lot of times maintains always the #1 priority. I know when I worked at Toyota, it was always the #1 priority. Community service, community structures and improvements, and community growth. So we talked about all that tonight. But if there's something you want to add, change, that's definitely up to you guys, and that's something we can do at the next meeting. We talked a little bit last time about fund accounting and why we have the different funds. And it really is for budgeting, for accounting, and for the requirements to keep money separate and be able to track it in the different funds. So this is what the budget is comprised of. The general fund, which is everything, pretty much the biggest one. The mayor, like you do now, usually is the one that maintains a lot of that, and we'll bring back the discussion points, but you all talk about it. The ABC fund. So I know that Megan's not here and the ABC commissioner's not here. They need to read this. They need to understand this, so they can reach out to me if they have questions, or they can reach out to them. But before the next meeting, they shouldn't come not reading this. So if anybody wants to make sure they know that, they should.
Can you get this in email form?
Yeah, no, I'll send it out tomorrow. I wanted, you want to hear.
Yes, we want to walk
Can
through.
you, make sure Zach gets a copy of it?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, that,
It's,
ABC
Chiefs.
chief.
so on here, it's still rolled up public works and parks.
Yes.
Can we separate that, please?
Okay. Oh, I see. I've got it in here twice. So I thought we changed parks to public works, or we doing sanitation as public works.
We did by the ordinance, and the ordinance says parks falls under the public works department.
Okay, so we just
Somebody
have public works.
superintends.
Okay.
All
So
right, so
no
when
separate.
did that happen?
When they passed the ordinance 40 years ago.
I was trying to put it alphabetically.
So I'm just trying to get that.
West.
Is that?
Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah.
All, that's them streets required.
We have general fund.
Staff
ABC.
different departments by ordinance. And that's what was done a number of years ago. All can change that, but it means amending parts.
Yeah, but I want parks separate from public works.
Okay, does it pass the ordinance?
I mean, you know, ideally, well,
What would be the definition of the difference?
Well, public works is more focused on public works. So improvements, stuff.
Mr. Obvious.
Parks and Rec should be Parks and Rec. So it should be its own little empathy kind of
So
thing.
public works, we would put the sewer, water, sewer.
Water, sewer, room key, all that stuff.
Building
In
is,
public works,
but,
but
We've always kind of been accounting for that.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And then the parks would be the renting and the fixing up the park.
Yeah, I mean,
If we did that though, wouldn't that assign to another, potentially another
You're in
commissioner?
that position.
So you, the commissioner could have 2 roles instead of,
And that might
I
be
mean, the
good.
mayor has it, but
which essentially I have.
maybe the mayor's team has 2. Maybe we can make that in order.
And that might be good though, because you might have one year in a commission, somebody really loves doing like sewer and stuff like that and buildings. And then you might have somebody that just is a green thumb and wants to be a parks person. So I mean, might be good.
Oh, what I propose then is you bring that back to the next meeting
Oh,
and get with him as to what ordinance change it would need. So we have that ready to rock and roll. These are our steps. So this is a yearly planning process. First, we look at what is happening around us. So we've talked a lot about that tonight, right? So that's what is called environmental scanning. So what's changing? We know we're growing. I've heard you guys talk about that. So that's gonna have to be a big thing we talk about, because that may be a priority for us this year compared to everybody having a priority. You know, we talked about getting benches at the park. Well, it depends on what the other priorities are. And that's what Peggy's gonna lead you guys through, is we're gonna do some just priority setting at the next meeting. You guys are gonna bring back your priorities, and then we're gonna look at it as a whole. But basically, go back, study your current situation, which I'm gonna go over, and then think about what's happening around you. Things that you know about, things that maybe are unknown, they're black swans. We don't know, but we have an inkling that this could happen, right? Like you talked about the county fire, and things like that, you know, those are things that you really need to think about before you set the budget. Because you don't want to have to go back and miss those things, right? Those things that are swimming around. Recognize the progress we've already made. Like I said, some of our goals may change because we have done a lot with police. We have done wonderful things with fire. and then analyze our actual expenditures. I'll show you that, and then you'll propose a budget. So at the next meeting, you're gonna bring back strategic items. You're gonna bring back things you know about that have changed. Now, and I've got some guidance for you. And then you're gonna go bring back, what you propose. Like, I know these are my fixed costs. They're not gonna go up. I propose they stay the same. And you'll see that where to put it in your workbook. The summer, we have to publish the ordinance. Fall and winter, we just kind of do what we've always been doing. Now we have reporting. It's much better. So you can see how you're doing against it and kind of go forward that way. And then this in the planning process is kind of the expectations of you guys. So review the budget package, noting your actual year-to-date numbers. Now, these were as of noon today. So these are as fresh as they get versus the budgeted amounts per your fund. Add your number to the proposed budget for the next year, right? So if you know, you can just put it in there. It's 1,200 this year, it's gonna be 1,200 next year. Put that in, that way you're halfway done with the budget. Review the questions on your individual worksheet and below to help you organize your thoughts. Bring back your top 3 at a maximum. Don't bring back 10. Top 3 strategic items as a maximum, not a minimum. You can have 1. Like you said, this is my one thing I'm gonna get done. That's fine. But as a maximum, don't bring back 10. We know we're not, unless we know we're gonna get a windfall next year, that may not be the thing to do. Do your research and due diligence. This is what I found every year that we really don't do a good job of. We talk about it and we talk about it, but no one has done the due diligence. So by the time we do the due diligence, it's another budget period. So if you've got a strategic item, do your due diligence to say, I roughly think this is how much it's gonna cost, how long it's gonna take, the best time of the year to do it. Then we can really plan for it. Because a lot of times we set budgets and we never use them because we never did that. And that's really your job, is to go out and do that due diligence for your little budget as to what it's really gonna cost. It's great to have ideas, but if we don't know, and then it takes us 6 to 7 months to find out, then it just hurts the next cycle. And we've done that year over year. So I'd really like to challenge you. Make sure to consider your direct expenses first. So these are things that we have to pay no matter what, and what is the impact next year. Salary is something you gotta pay every year. Are you gonna go up? You're gonna get raises? Those are things you have to think about. And that's your direct expense that you wanna do first before you even start thinking about your strategic items. Any questions on those? Does that make sense? Okay. Review the audit or other insights. There's just some things there that I've seen so far. Prepare a plan to address. We'll do that through the audit, but I just want you to, we might talk about it at the next meeting. And then again, think holistically about the city, not just your department when you're planning priorities, and we'll do that. And these are just some questions that help you think about it, and a place we can document stuff if you want to. All right. So this is the final deliverable. When we are done with the budget, this is what gets published. This is what we're held accountable for. This is what gets amended. We don't have to amend our individual numbers underneath it publicly like this. It's only if something here we need to amend. This is what we really need to amend. And normally it's significant, right? When we look at actuals and we start going 5 to 10% above, that's when we would bring it up and we would vote. Yeah, we want to make sure people understand why we were really over budget on that one, why we weren't. But these are really what you're held accountable to. And you can see it starts with how much money you start with. That's at the top. And that's always estimated. It's not perfect because we do this just like now. We're doing it right now. So it's when we publish, it'll be what's in the bank at that time. And then what's coming in, that's what's available, what's going out, and then how much you would have to get transferred from general fund. Because not everybody is a revenue producer, right? You got to, police and fire are always going to have more expenses than they have revenue. So that's kind of how it's broken out. And so in your workbooks, you should be able to tie these numbers to your workbook numbers. I've already done it. I'd love for you to challenge it, is to make sure that what we published is what our budget numbers are. So this is the individual workbook. Okay? So the first one I'm going to look at, and you guys have copies of all of them, is the general fund, because that's the majority of income and expenses. So at the top, I have their revenue and all the different places it's coming in. So the first column is actual year to date as of today and what's in QuickBooks today. The second column is the budget that matches the ordinance, broken out with the spreadsheet, the last spreadsheet that we have. And then the proposed is where you would do it. You may not want to break it out at all those levels. I have some comments on a couple of them that seem to be similar, especially in the ABC fund. But for next year, that's where you would kind of put your new number. So the next is your expenditures, or what's called the appropriation, so that's what's going out. So again, actual, budget, and then what do you propose for next year? If these numbers are a little bit over or under, it really doesn't mean anything. It's all about your totals. So total revenues, you can see on versus your budget revenues. So like I'm looking at general fund, total revenues were 548,417. The budget was 536,000. So basically, we have made more money already than we expected to make in the general fund. The majority of that is in the intergovernmental revenue. So the question that you need to, or the answer that you need to bring back is that gonna be the same next year? So
So how do we, that's not feasible. We don't get that until after. Yeah, like September.
Are you planning?
Well, and you sit there and plan and say, I hope it's the same, and then you're 100,000 short.
Well, actually, we get it usually in the end of July, don't we?
But that's after budget's already happened.
Yeah, I mean.
yeah, I'm not saying this to be exact, but do we know of any reason it should go down? Was there something that happened this year that made it go up? Did somebody go down there and fight for more money?
That was like this year, you know, when I reached out to Joe Pat, he said, be happy to get what we gave you last year. And he did.
It's 1% of the revenue is what it is. So county revenue is 1%, Sadie gets the same thing we get. It's not in contracts, it's.
Yeah,
The other thing is on this document, what's in your, actual fund, that's year-to-date number.
Mhm.
What's your plan is an actual full year number,
that's a full year.
so they're not ever going to die out, so.
Exactly.
So I don't know if I'm anywhere close to meeting my budget number or not, because I still have 2 months left to fulfill, right?
Yeah, well, you know what's fixed, and
Right.
what's not fixed. So like intergovernmental revenue, we know that one's not gonna get any more, right? That's not gonna.
We hope.
Yeah.
Salary, like for you, you're showing under, but you have to do exactly what he said. You have to consider, I've got salary for 2 more months, or, you know, a month and a half, a month and a half, basically, half of this month in May. That's all you got left. So it shouldn't be huge. And again, you're never gonna be exact. It's, you have to know where this money's coming from, and that's just the point. It's, just think about it. Like, is there anything that could change it?
And some looking ahead, because you mentioned salary, you know, we'll have to think when we budget for the remainder of the year being at this pay rate, but starting January 1,
Yeah.
next commission's gonna get the increase that we did.
Well,
Make sure we get that,
We'll get
$100 maybe, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says there's, just take the sanitation for a second, example. So halfway through the year, sanitation rates went up. Because of
Yeah,
contract,
yeah, you're
you know,
better than it used to be,
Yeah.
for sure.
and then all of a sudden we got a payment that we weren't expecting in sanitation and so on and so forth, so. If we continue to get our payments for the next 2 or 3 months, as we should, so we should end up net positive on sanitation. Knowing that next year that's not gonna reoccur. But there's nothing like, unless I go and do all the work, figuring this stuff out. There's nothing that tells me what a 12-month should look like. You see what I'm saying? Like, in all my budgets in the past that I've done, in accounting, I've always pulled 2 months in from the prior year, just so that you have a target to get to.
Well, we can do that.
FEMA sanitation fees.
You don't have
It won't
fire.
be on that.
Yeah, you'll get it all. She just didn't print them all out.
Oh, yeah.
But
So right now it's.
the one thing, we can do that. We could pull, it's here's the reason, Ken, that I don't do it that way, is because there's so many things that are not fixed and cyclical. They're just one time. And if you pull the wrong month in, you're gonna throw your numbers way off. The way I would do it is I would apportion it, which says this is 10/12 of my number. So what would 12/12 of my number be like?
Right.
And if it's something that's not gonna change, then you don't change it, like what we just talked about. That's not gonna change. We get that, we get our training fees one time a year. We're not gonna get any more, so don't add to it. And I can go back and do that and do like a 12/12, what it should look like. And, you just have to, but I need to know which ones aren't going to change. I don't have the details enough to know.
Right.
This is continuing, and that's what I talked about fixed cost versus this is not. That's a good point. You just kind of have to know that. And that's why I wanted to walk through these, so you're thinking about that. Yep, this is my year to date, but I have a month and a half left. Am I gonna go, spend more money here? Because you don't want to think you're under when you really may not be under. Because as a whole, you guys have done great this year. Just let you know. But
I was gonna ask that, but I was gonna wait till the end. It's like, I hear what he's saying, but like, I don't even know how close we are to do that overall. Like, so we set forth the budget of, and we said that we're gonna have, an excess of 88?
well, let's look at econ, right?
No, I'm talking about budget that we posted.
Yeah, you'll see the total.
So,
You can see in your spreadsheet, you can see.
yeah, so what I'm saying is, like, we said that we're gonna have an excess of 88. You say we're doing good, but I have no recollection of, we might be net positive of, instead of 88, 120. I don't know.
Well, it's in the reports that you get, there's a total column.
Right, and that's just, I understand what he's saying, I have no idea how good we are doing, if fire is really over budget, or, police department is really under, but is it because it's a mixed up year, and, I understand what you're saying, and this is great, like, I love this.
And you'll see that in,
Yeah.
so, but let's look at econ, just so you can see how to tie it back. So econ, you got econ, right? So econ,
He's a bad example, because he didn't claim much for his budget.
no, he's over, so he's good.
I'm over budget.
Yeah, so he's a good one. But I wanted to talk about that, because I'd like for you to have them all, but we'll just have to nibble them. All right, so for econ, if you look at that 2025-26 budget column, you had 3,400 total revenue. If you look at the ordinance, that's what econ was ordinance for, 3,400. Yeah, right there, 3,400 on that line, total estimated revenues. You have brought in, you see that, it's under econ development?
Yeah.
Right there, 3,400.
Yeah.
All right, you have brought in 4,000.
I'm at the wrong line.
Oh, it's fine, that's why I wanted to do this. Under econ.
That's what we called it. Oh, that column.
At 34.
Yeah,
Right there,
34.
there's your revenue.
Gotcha.
All right, got it. And all of you should be able to do the same thing. You should be able to tie in your total revenues to that ordinance. That's what you budgeted.
Right.
So econ, for example, you have taken in $4,775.74 already,
Record year.
record year. So you already, budget wise, are doing good, right? You're taking in more money than you expected.
Right.
In your expenses, if you look at your total expenses, that was $1,200, right? You look at the ordinance, you had $1,200.
Yeah.
That's all you had. Your total's $1,385.46. However, when as a person looking at this, and I would want you to look at that too, you would look at what you're off. You had $1,000 charitable contribution.
Yeah.
If you look at the general funds, the budget, we had budgeted in general fund,
2,000 for,
for
Donation.
company requests or community requests is what we call them, which to me is probably the same thing. So I would come back and say that 1,000 needs to go against this budgeted item and taken off of mine. That's what I would do.
Right now?
You can do that, yeah.
but here's the thing, if we've been getting down, like you were talking about documents all along,
Right.
we could have done that at the meeting. We've done, hey, we still got 1,500 over in this community, we can take it out later.
Yeah.
Understand.
That's why you have to look at it, you have to look at it specifically and holistically at the same time.
So going forward, is that like a motion that has to request to say, hey, it was paid out of economic fund? And we need to pay it out of general fund that we budgeted for?
I don't think so, because I don't think you have an ordinance saying that's what you're supposed to
Okay.
do. So I don't know why you would make a motion like that.
I'm just curious, like, you would do it to make a note.
An amended
Amended.
later.
Yeah, we didn't amend it, but again, if we amended something, it's saying, we
But
thought we were gonna spend 1,200, we're gonna spend 12,000.
It's formally a public record though, like in minutes.
Cody, I think what happens sometimes, because I've listened to you guys, and you want to make a donation or a contribution, and you'll say, take it out of economic.
Yeah, that's what I say.
And that's why that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. Thank you. You should say, where do we have it budgeted? And then take it, do we have it, like, just like where Dale was going? How much did we budget to give to the community this year?
Right.
And then you would have put it right there. But I think that's exactly right. And that's why I wanted to kind of go with you. You have to know enough, but you also have to estimate a little bit. And it's never going to be perfect. That's why you're not held accountable at those lower levels.
Right.
Just like he said, it was like $150 and it's $250. Well, who cares? You know, if overall you have it, you would not want to really get into those details, that you can really kill yourself in an analysis paralysis. Sure.
So overall, you may have already said this, but as, oh, well, as the fire commission, however, it went valid point. Very positive.
Overall. Well, I didn't print off the big one. It's like this big. So I didn't print off, but you'll have it in your workbook.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like, at least as far as I'm concerned, it looks like my revenue is higher than was projected.
Yeah, and that's what you'll notice overall is we did, and we do that on purpose. That's the other thing I didn't have it in there, but we tend to be conservative when we budget our revenue because it's always better to have more revenue than you expected. And so we're a bit conservative, and we have been over the last couple of years just because we were pulling so much out. We wanted to just kind of put the brakes on that.
You got $515, you better chill.
I could ask you a question from an accountant's point of view. If you
Yeah.
look at our trash,
Have you seen my numbers?
in our budget, what's better for us to keep budgeting and showing we're taking in $100,000? All we're doing is taking the money in and sending it right back out. Wouldn't it be better just to let those people deal with getting the money than us showing it in the budget that we take in 100, but then we spend it out to Rumpke in a check? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So we charge individually for trash.
Right.
And we get the money, but then we take the money and we send it to Rumpke to pay their bill.
Yeah.
Would it not be better just not even have to worry about that in our budget where we say, Rumpke, you know what, we'll let you do the billing. We're not even gonna see that money. We're not gonna be a clearinghouse. That money comes from the water company.
Yeah, I think as an accountant, I don't think you should be the middleman
Yeah.
because prior to this year, we lost money here
Oh,
every single
gosh.
year. And there was one year we lost about 30 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as a person that used to be a citizen here, I would not do that. You know, it's extra paperwork, it's extra everything.
Y'all been working on this, right? Yeah, Keenan's, right?
I'm still, well, we're making money though.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
now
now
you
it
don't want
becomes
to
a
get rid of
moneymaker.
I don't know much time you take.
It's not
I
really
take
money.
several phone calls and complaints and
Yeah, we're out.
cutting the check and.
Yeah, well, I don't get paid for that, so we're fine.
All right, so at the bottom of each of your sheets, so yeah, everybody knows how to read their sheet now.
Yep.
I can do a 10, a 12 proportionate. So like in this one, for general fund, there was something in miscellaneous, so I just dug into that, and that's World Pack, World Pay.
Where is it?
Canceled.
That is the same thing, and that's the credit card machine.
Okay.
We had three
So
different
good, we don't
things.
have to pay for that next year, but
Leave the
things like that, if you want to see details, that transaction report that you get should have every single detail.
Well, we found that last year and,
Good.
right, you know, when,
The one thing I did note, and you're gonna see it in the audit report, just kind of giving you a preview, is the classification of revenue. There's just not a good general documentation understanding of it. And for a clerk, or even you guys, if you look at some of these invoices, you're like, I don't know what that is. Is it insurance fees? Is it telecom fees? We have so many revenue buckets that what I'm gonna propose in the audit is that we vote, and the budget's a good time to do it too, on what the real revenue streams are that we investigate. The clerks are creating a vendor list. So for this vendor, they're in this category. That way it's gonna be so much easier for them to post them in the right place. Because when you look at the general fund, it's all over the place. Like we've been budgeting 75,000 a year, every year for franchise fees. Well, we got 101 in there, but I guarantee you that's not correct. There's things in there that shouldn't be. in there.
Yeah, well, that's like where we couldn't find the money for the rental for the tower, water
Yeah.
tower. A lot of that ended up.
Yes.
And then like we got a payment the other day for $600 and it was coded as a franchise fee. It's not, it's a rental fee.
Yes, so we're looking through the audit, we pulled all the invoices and they're gonna create this kind of vendor list and categorize it. And that's gonna be a recommendation to audit, but they'll already have it done.
that mean I can get more money, potentially?
You ever track where it's coming from, yeah.
I've got a franchise fee here that That mineral soul service?
Yeah.
Like, how does that end up to,
They just assigned it to it. It doesn't say under that statute for that where it goes. The city gets it and they're like, we're gonna put it in.
So what are we doing there? Spending more money.
No, what I'm saying is when they pay a bill,
Right.
the clerks know how to categorize it. Right now, it's all over the place, and we're not gonna change it. They're gonna do a journal entry for the audit. And then we're gonna set that process going forward for the budget. But I think you guys should consider, what are our 5 main streams? We know who pays us for them, why they pay us for them, how much they pay us for them, and we document that. So with the next commission, it's so much easier, right? Here's your 4 revenue streams, here's who they come from, AT&T and this one, and this is 1% of net revenue. Something like that is what I think you guys should document, and we do it during the budget.
And that's wonderful, because last year's budget, that was the hardest part. We
I know.
can actually look at fiscal checks to realize where it came from.
Yeah.
Right.
Where did this come
It was all lumped together, like, I don't know how it got this
Where's
number.
it come from? Are we gonna get it again?
Yeah.
You know?
So they've done a great job of breaking out and filing by vendor. So during the audit, it was very easy for me to pull them. And then I'm looking through it. I'm like, well, this isn't franchise. This is an insurance fee. This is this. So,
Felt like eating yourself.
yeah, they did a great job. The audit's going great, just like the thing's going great. All right, so that's the thing for general fund.
So we're gonna give them more money and make their job easier. That's crazy.
Accounting for health trust, we need to think about that. You'll see that in yours that you're way under. But in general fund, there's another one there, so we'll talk about that. And I'll work with the clerks to get more information about that and with the mayor. We need to really understand how to account for the health trust. I think better than what we're doing now. That's just some things I found in the audit. It's confusing for me, and I've called the person that you got, Rondo Black, I think. I really can't grasp it, but I don't know if it's really a police thing we should think about, or if it's more of a general fund thing that we think
I
about.
don't know what you're talking about. I saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know. And it shows you way under, which you would think, oh, I got extra money, but I think that's not true. We need to think about it holistically, the health trust.
Well,
But again, so what you think about your strategic goals priorities, 3 maximum. For the general fund, I have a comment. Everybody has a different comment. So the intercompany funding consistency, right? Do we expect it to be the same? Do we want to budget it less because we don't know? That's up to you guys. Just think about it. The tax rate increases, are we going to propose anything? Do we think we're going to get more because we have more people moving in here? You know, when we think about the taxes as our revenue, because the general has your biggest revenue. Code enforcement, I noticed we budgeted a lot for that, expenditure wise, and we really didn't have a lot. So I know we did last year, we had a lot, we didn't budget for it. So is that something that's just inconsistent and that's just gonna happen and we're just gonna go with it, we'll average them out or something like you said? I noticed the parking lot was unplanned, we really didn't have anything budgeted for that. So then that's fine. And overall, so your total for general fund, no, quit saying that, he's still saying it. So for general fund, you brought in more money. Your budget for the year for expenditures was 257,756. You've spent 206,770. So you have a month and a half left, basically of salaries and utilities and stuff. But if you divide that prorate it by 12/12, you're gonna get right on. I look for the big flags to then dive into it. I don't think you're gonna have a problem with general fund.
You know, something the last time I was on, and this time, something I think is a bad phrase for us, and not saying to you, but it just said numerous times by other commissioners, we're gonna bring in this, we're not. I mean, I think a better way to look at the money from the county is we're basically gifted that. They can tomorrow quit giving that to us. We
Oh,
don't,
the intergovernmental.
yeah, we can't.
You wouldn't be able to function, they did.
No, that's what I'm saying. We always plan our budget on, oh, we're gonna get that. No, it could be a year we don't get it. And that's why it makes it easier playing safe.
But is it based upon the revenue of the county?
It is, but under a handshake agreement.
yes.
Was that something the attorney?
I think, but
It's probably best.
in my mind, I've always thought of it, that's why it's Stamping Ground does not charge an occupational tax. County does, but the county shares that with Stamping Ground.
So they roughly made 36.8 million, and we got 1%, City Bill got 1%, that's how you get the 300.
Right.
And that was just from the beginning. They said, well, we're gonna give these 2 cities this as well.
What's
It's not
crazy to me is,
written anywhere.
and I've talked to Dale many nights about this, our population is 3 times more Sadie, but we get the same thing.
The same amount.
Well, then, I would go and sit down with them and talk to them and maybe change that handshake
Let's
agreement.
do it.
I mean,
Let's do two
because
handshakes.
without those funds, you would be in huge trouble. Huge trouble.
Yeah.
So should be on your strategic goal. Strategic goal, because it is, and just imagine if you said, if we're getting the same as Sadieville, but we're 4 times bigger, maybe
Yeah.
we'll get more. You gotta ask, they ain't gonna give it to you. You gotta-
And also, I think you ought to have, we need the money because.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so,
Yeah,
just a side note, Jennifer and ourselves have asked both chiefs to do a 3 to 5 year plan.
Yeah.
You know, looking into the future, what is it gonna cost if X, Y, and Z
it
happens?
happens, right?
And so that's something that we can take and say,
Yeah, and that's why I say strategic planning and budgeting go hand in hand. Hand in hand. And you think about your budget, it's not just putting a bunch of numbers on a page and getting it published. It's how do I achieve my strategic plan and prioritizing them, because you know, you can't do everything. Like, we used to talk about like a wish list, and I think that really is not the way to go, because then everybody fights for their wish list. You guys have to, as a whole, look at everybody's 3 top items and vote as to which ones are the top priorities.
When you said that about, and Cody said about we're larger than Sabon, but we get the same amount, you know, another thing I think can be discussed is we signed the agreement for the code enforcement a second ago, years ago, when we were this much of the pie. Now we're this much of the total pie, so the code enforcement officers look at, we're paying the same amount.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's.
Those are things you should, on your strategic plan, be looking at before the next meeting and talking about what we think that impact can be.
And I think Zach
That's
was
important.
talking to their attorney, right?
hey, hold
Sorry.
Zach was talking to, no, sorry, Zach was talking to code enforcement attorney. and then about-
Jack and I have both talked to him,
There you go.
and the last we talked to her, she wanted, an idea of what our budget was gonna be this upcoming year, and we gave her a very
Right.
guesstimate.
Yeah.
A very, very
Good.
guess of what it could potentially be, and that is where we've left it to. And we've not talked to her since then. I can tell you.
There's just a lot of things that I think are uncertain.
And that's
And it makes it so hard.
I know, but then you do like Dale said, you just say,
Low bar.
we're going conservative, we're not gonna put, because we had that, remember,
Yeah.
for years, we had $125,000, some type of street thing supposed to come in. And it was on the budget and it never came in. So finally, I'm asking, I'm like, why are you putting it on the budget?
Oh, the
They're like,
Sunshine Street Walk.
Yes.
Sidewalk.
It was on for years. I'm like, if you have no idea, don't put it on. If you have no idea and you're just saying, oh, I wish, you know, like that new commercial, my retirement is gonna be wonderful. Don't do that. It's based on history. Like, we've gotten intergovernment funds for several years. I would not take that off the budget, but you may want to go conservative. We're gonna keep it the same. We're not gonna enjoy that, what we got extra this year. Or you've got a big strategic goal. You're like, nope, we're gonna put it in there at a higher amount and we're gonna fight for it.
Well, and what I wish we'd done this year and maybe next year, plan at that amount this year's and not expect more, because really we should have done with that $60,000 extra, we should put immediately in CDs.
I think we.
Because we sell it down, yeah, but we've beaten it up already, I mean,
No, I don't think,
20,000 for a parking lot.
yeah, but it's still 40,000.
We're still under spent.
We're under.
How much we got in CD right now?
The one we just signed was 25.
We
Yeah.
had 80 at the beginning of last year.
We've got 3 through 2, a savings and 2 CDs.
Yeah, so it should be like.
About 60 grand.
Yeah, 60 grand.
All right, so looking at economic development, we kind of hit theirs. You know, you're told you're doing good, and I think you should suggest 1,000, which I think you already did. All right, ABC fund, the ABC fund, I think needs to really take a look at that. Way under on the admin pay, so I don't really understand why. And it's not like missing one payment, it's like.
We only have one. One person that's delegated for 2 people.
Oh, well, there you go. So then you, next year you say, well, we can get by with one, we're not gonna budget that much.
Well, we need-
We just instated where he could be, if that one guy leaves, then our sheriff, or our
Police officer.
police officer can step
Right, yeah.
in till we get a new one. So I don't know if necessarily, I don't know, we need to look into that.
Yeah. And then there was like form creation, Adobe, blah, blah, blah. I think all those should be put together and not break it out so specifically. It's just
Well-
harder, because they're all zeros.
And it won't need to be this next year, that was just when we did the budget talks to explain what we're asking for.
It could be 4, yeah. And that's it, that was just
Because the
something.
reason why we did that was because we were showing no way of spending the money we're charging to people in this fee.
Right.
And that broke it down the way.
Yeah, and that's gonna be in the audit too, spending restriction, confirmation and documentation.
Good.
So we were talking about that today with like the state aid. So when we put it in, they're gonna make certain comments about it, so it'll be easy for us to search and do reporting on restricted funds. So that,
State aid, the fire state aid.
yeah, it was, well, we're gonna hit the fire just next, so let's go to the fire. So, fire department,
Okay, not to stop the ABC.
Yeah.
Do we need to look at the percentage that we're charging because they're not spending?
that is, yeah, that's something I said. You need to tax rate increases or decreases and a justification for that. That's something that should be done every year at budgeting time and getting with him to say that.
The problem is the lack of information is hindering whether we do one or the other. What I'm asking is, can we do it off of basing, maybe that's a question that we can ask is of the amount that we charge versus what we spend needs to be adjusted to a closer number. I mean, I guess that would be, that's something we gotta.
Yeah, the commissioner should come back with a recommendation.
But he's not a commissioner.
Well, ABC.
Yeah, option.
Awesome. All right, so fire department, income budget was 15,000, and they're at 18,250. One thing, this was it, so they coded 15,000 that come from the Kentucky Fire Commission as state aid.
Training incentive.
That's the training incentive. We had 15,000 budgeted in intergovernmental revenues for county. Like we normally get a county thing for the fire too.
Yeah, I don't think they've got that for a couple of years, have you, since Josh was here? That was a thing where they came down and said, hey, we'd like to give you a little bit extra money this year, and instead of that, when they gave the big check, they gave us, I know 1 year was like $8,000, they gave us 9 1 year separate, but I don't think we've got that for a while.
There's no county, taxes for fire.
No,
That's a discussion for later on.
Well, that's something to think about.
Because that is an option. We can make the tax to help fund the fire department. We can.
You can, but that opens a lot of doors and things. You can also charge for every vehicle accident make, but then that opens a big door. I mean,
So what we'll do for budgeting, I'm gonna move that intergovernmental
We gotta.
state aid so it matches. Cause it, overall it's together, but they're off. Like one line's up here shows 0 and this one down here shows nothing. Those two really go together. And I just wanna make sure there wasn't something else we were expecting in.
But that 15,000, it's gonna be gone.
yeah, it's gonna go payment truck.
It's gonna go away.
You don't even get that, Commissioner?
Truck.
Okay.
Am I wrong in
Well, then
saying
that's
we
the
have to spend that every year, right?
When we,
Because we have to prove to the fire
No.
commission where we spend it.
no. We have to stay within a list of things we can buy with it and use it on. But we don't have to spend it. We can carry it over year to year. But what Chief is saying is when we sign this, loan to the, commission, we had to say, we'll use our training center.
So for next year, think of that. So this is no longer gonna happen, but I've got this grant coming in, or I've got this thing. That's what we'll budget for. And that's just what you bring. You know, you kind of look at what we did and what's stopping, what's coming. But right now you're over on your income expenses. Budgeted 100,854, you're at 52,215. So you can see the detail of that. So they're, 50 grand under.
Does that get the new, gear that you just bought on there?
Well, the one thing I did notice, I heard you talking about that. We did have budgeted turnout gear
Yes,
for $12,000.
but then we got the grants. And then we did talk about the grants. No, I know. We talked about using it for that in the thing, but
But I mean, just for budget wise, that's why he's under. He's got
Yeah.
12,000 for turnout gear, 450 for hoods, 1350 for helmets, 15,000 for fire expenses. Of that, you've only spent 24,000, so that's where you're way under. It's on your fire equipment. And then, so he's got it budgeted when he was talking about, and I can say that my husband is 6'8", and when I met him at 21 years old, he has scars here and here, both arms, completely across each arm. And it's because his gear only went here. And so when he walked into a burning building, his skin immediately burned. So it's very, very important. I'm just gonna throw that, because I'm a fireman's wife. All right, so that's fire. Police,
Uh-oh.
Very good, very fine. Police, the budget income was 31,357. Actually brought in 34,695. So you brought in more than we budgeted for.
He's actually bringing money in. How about that?
He gets, HB 413 income, grants that we didn't plan for, there were 6,700 in grants. KLF is under, and then they sold the truck, the car for more than we budgeted for. For expenditures, he is total budget 247,014, he's at 160. So differences there you can kind of see. I didn't see anything that really stood out to me at all. The thing that you still have is a month and a half of salary, fuel, things like that. But I don't think a month and a half's gonna do it. That's please.
That was Don's salary.
So I was gonna say it's Don's salary, but we did pay a little bit of it at the very beginning, now.
There was some stuff that came out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, bless you. Yeah, you had two at one time too, good morning, so. For public works, revenue, total budget revenue was 107, and we're at 94, and this includes the sanitations. This is park recs and sanitation. The big difference is the sanitation fees. It's at 88,000, we budgeted 106, but you got a month and a half, and they're about 8 grand.
And I paid mine.
You'll be really close there on your income. The brick project, we have that in there. That wasn't line of blame for. You did get some donations and things like that. I would like to purchase a brick too, is what I'm talking about.
Perfect.
And then expenditures, your expenditures were budgeted 127,864, and you're at 110,245. You can look at the details, and again, it might just be matching, you know, if you have 0 and 1, and you can kind of look through the details. For streets, income 14,000, brought in 13,304, so pretty close. The difference was we budgeted for 14,000 municipal road aid, we've only posted 9,171. So I don't know if we expect to get more. We did have donations in streets.
Yeah, I guess two more things.
Okay, cool. That'll go up. And then your expenditures, 40,679, you're at 32. All under there as well. And that is your detail. So again, think, ask questions, do some research, do some assumptions. That's just it, Cody. Some of it's just going to be assumptions, but it's your best assumptions. And then come back with as much information as we can. We won't know it all, but as much as you can. And then we'll sit down and Peggy, she knows how to talk about a way to kind of get you guys to really work through the priorities really quickly. And then we'll go from there. Once we set our priorities, then that's our priorities and we move forward. The clerks, they are, when you're out, right? That's when you have to bring it here. So when you're out total, not line by line. So if something you said was 300 and it's 500, that's not, clerks aren't going to worry about that. You're responsible for total income, total expenditures. But if it's way over, they'll flag it because you're like, okay, then what are you not going to spend, right? If all of a sudden you spent 20,000 on the parking lot, there's something you plan to do that you're not gonna be able to do. That's what they're gonna get.
This probably doesn't go for anybody else. Economic takes in $4,500. And that's how much of that, say I have in the bank account rolling into this next year. And I go ahead and budget that 45 in my account plus what I'm gonna take in.
If you remember, we do start with the roll forward,
So
but you don't roll forward your budget, but you do roll forward the balance in your account. You kind of plan for that.
that's what I'm saying. So if I'm, let's say I budget $4,500 this year, but I had 4,500 in there, next year I do 9,000.
Yeah. That just bring your checking out down. That's it. Yep. And again, you don't have to match your revenue. Government is not a revenue producing thing. So having transfer from general funds is completely fine. If for econ development, that's a priority that you guys vote on, then the budget can be, I think we've had it in the past up to $50,000.
Please,
And we just never spend it. So don't budget for it and then don't spend it because then you're messing up everybody else. That's why you gotta do your budget. Don't give it away because your priorities can change. So don't just, yeah. But that's,
I was just curious about the roll. That has got me, and I don't
yeah,
know.
just because you have it, I wouldn't spend it.
Yeah.
They're gonna hold you to how much you were allowed to spend at that time. So $1,200 is what, if you go above that, then you have to explain to them why you went above that. You guys can decide what's significant. Plus 5% of $1,200 not much, so, you know. 5% of 300,000 is a lot, but not a problem. Any questions? Everybody understands that pretty clear, how the process works?
Yeah, send us the
You
other.
wanna do this,
Yeah, you'll get all this via email.
you wanna do this at the next meeting?
Yeah, we're gonna work.
Right, well, now,
That might not have to be the next meeting. We might wanna call a budget meeting and workshop. That's up to you guys, but I'm just saying, next time, be prepared to start putting numbers on the page.
are you gonna be at the next meeting?
I can if it's the right time.
Okay. I might email you mine, because I may not be, available at the next meeting.
When is our next meeting?
Just mentioned, you know, ideally got the budget ready, because we have to have 2 meetings
Yeah.
before the 30th. So that we can do the meetings and.
We do probably if we need to have a workshop.
Yeah. Then,
Do we wanna go ahead and plan that now? Anybody?
I'm down.
It'd be better for me to do it before, well, we have to have it done before June. June, I'm not available.
Let's see, what is our next meeting is?
On the 14th.
Our next meeting is the,
14th.
well, oh no, it's the 14th, he's right.
Yeah. So do you wanna do this?
We can do it after work, and we can do it on Saturday, whatever's available for anybody.
Saturdays are much easier.
Saturdays for me are gonna be tied up for
We don't care about
a
everybody.
few weeks.
How many weeks? I just said 13, is it?
That's the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what about the 7th? It's a Thursday.
Okay.
I cannot come on there.
Okay.
Okay. I don't need to be here.
The 21st.
What can you do?
Pretty much, that's the weekend before Mother's Day, and I have a big Mother's Day tea that I have to cook and plan for.
We can do this weekend, I didn't-
I mean, we could do that.
it's whatever you guys. Somebody.
No, I want you to do more due diligence.
What about the 9th? I guess a week.
No,
after
that's
Thursday.
Mother's Day weekend.
Oh, it is, okay.
We're not doing that.
I'm not gonna be here.
Okay, so
10th through the
What about Fridays?
16th, I'm out.
What Fridays look like for people?
This Friday?
Any Friday, just, well, not this Friday, because like she said, we really need to look at it before we start talking.
Yeah, yeah.
what about the 20, what about the 20, who said the 23rd? 22nd? You said the
23rd,
22nd, 23rd,
Saturday,
22nd?
We didn't get that, we still,
22nd, we good. Is that
22nd?
Friday?
I can do Fridays.
That's a Friday?
Yeah,
Friday,
I just want to keep up your Saturday.
what day?
it's Friday, 22nd.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be better. That way, we'll have plenty of time, because June is,
Six.
Or whatever, I mean, I don't, whatever you want to do.
you don't have, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have
I-
Big-
Wait, May 23rd?
22nd,
22nd, yeah, I'm,
no Saturdays, because that's it.
I'm actually free that.
I'm available.
Oh, that's the morning for now.
You said you want to do 5? Is that what you said?
That's fine.
5?
Five,
Well, yeah, I
Everybody do 5?
don't get off before 30.
5:30,
5:30?
Yes,
so you don't fly.
well,
And then we'll catch you speed.
Well,
you can start without me, it's a workshop.
yeah, but you think about budget, we all need to be in,
Yeah.
talking and
You all just tell me what.
6.
5:30.
5:40, 5:45.
5:45.
Split difference.
Okay.
You made an option here.
22nd, 5:45.
And that's all we'll focus on, do your due diligence. And,
Can you read?
and then Peggy will lead us in an exercise, and then we'll start putting numbers in.
What's the day?
22nd, it's a Friday.
I do. You guys need to hear it, because it's the only way you're able to categorize them right.
You know, we didn't include Megan. I hear though. Hopefully she's doing
Do you want me to just reach out to her tomorrow?
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it'd be nice going to set it today, I'll have to ask.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's forwardless, but
Okay,
we're trying to get all of us
Well,
here.
we still got another.
Who covers ABC as far as budget?
Mr. Kibble.
what's that?
Okay, so the off, he was here too. ABC officer.
Well, I've got a graduation.
Well, and question, do the
You can
chiefs need to
send
hear
me-
the first meeting until we get to their specific department, fleshing out?
If they want to.
No, I mean, I can, but I'm saying.
Three things too, though.
Yeah, they could send them, like before they send them, you can just send them.
Yeah, they'll have their three things
Yeah, do
too.
your homework and just send it to me. These are the things I know is not gonna happen. These are the things I know is gonna happen. These are things I want. These are my top 2, 3 things I wanna do. And it could be.
You wanna be there? Let's put it like this. Is it something you wanna attend?
That's a,
Cause I mean, we can obviously exchange dates.
Well, and I'm gonna send you those dates for this month that we can meet, if you wanna pick one this time, we can meet.
It's not a requirement. It's just you're gonna be voiced and heard better. Yeah.
It won't be the only budget meeting.
No, it won't be long.
Yeah,
I mean, can we, for his budget, we can just put him as part of one of the prior meetings.
yeah.
Yeah.
and hopefully we can get together. Make sure.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right.
That's,
One of the meetings.
I got congratulations.
In Florida?
You know, in high school and college, so. In different branches of the
Oh, we did not.
Did you intend to?
No, we didn't. February, March. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion after hearing everything that she stated.
Can we do them separate?
We need to do them separate?
Um,
I mean, do we need to?
well, I didn't read this very well, so yeah, you do whatever, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
We got a motion for,
February. Finances 2026, my motion.
in second. All those in favor? March financials,
I'll motion to approve March financials.
can you get a second? I'll second.
Yeah,
You got a second?
it's fine.
All those in favor? I'll take it.
No,
No, that's the one I didn't read, so no from me.
All those in favor?
yeah.
Mayor, if I make a couple of things, one, I won't be able to be at the next meeting, the meeting on the 14th. Then also, I was thinking that my last day as city attorney would be the second meeting in June.
You said discuss this, Joe. We didn't, you didn't say you were throwing out dates.
No.
You said discuss this.
Can I ask a question?
Look, you've now upset Cody.
Oh, Cody's wondering why it's so long.
No. Is that something that is, you will be available later on? If, well, we need to set like a rate or something.
What I think I mean is that Zach will be taking over. I won't be coming to meetings unless
Right.
Unless you need.
specifically asked.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa.
But, you know, Zach,
I'm just curious how that process is gonna go down.
yeah, me too. I mean, I don't know.
How would you like is what I'm asking.
Well, like I say, that
Would
I,
you like this to be something that you and Zach talk about?
and I did,
Okay.
you know, I've talked to Zach about it. Oh, that's what I was gonna suggest.
Okay.
So,
Because I
I'm
think,
always available to, and you know, I'm trying to get some of my files put together that I can turn over to Zach. I have a lot of files.
I'm just curious if Zach needs help and we request it. There's an hourly rate or however you wanna do it. or-
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would just be what my, you know, my hourly rate for the city has been $100 an hour.
Yeah.
And that